Oh, my camera has disappeared from the screen. That's exciting. Let's give it a quick... There we go. Hello. There we go. We're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, we have another point battle. And it's a bit of a weird timing for us, right? Because we have new content coming out tomorrow. Which means everything we do now is kind of going to be outdated immediately tomorrow, right? So it's a weird time. So we're probably going to be building some day one decks for tomorrow. That's probably going to be the plan. But first things first, we do have our Japanese point battle. And these point battles are so much fun. In general, I mean, I know I say this every time, but I'm not the biggest fan of point battles. I don't really like the format, but I do think it is excellent for deck testing and just getting games in against decent players, right? Queuing into King of Games, like ladder, you'll maybe find like a really good match 1 in every 10 games. Whereas playing in these point battles, we generally get good games pretty much every single game. So it's kind of just decent practice, I guess, is the way to think about it. So that's the plan for today. Here we have a chat. We have Dragzin with the Rush save. We have Number Hunters. I'm so going to join this Rush duel on the stream when I finish my deck. Well, if you want to join this point battle, which is going to be an uphill struggle, I'll tell you that, especially if you're fresh, you only have 9 minutes to join before it gets cut off. And then there's Gunkan Suship Shari dancing away. So, we're quite looking forward to this, right? We do have the deck we're bringing today. We did enter this the last 2 days. So on Tuesday, we played the Noodle Ninjas, and we had a really rough time, to be honest. I think a lot of people have adapted to the Noodle Ninja strategy, and people have started playing tech cards to counter that matchup specifically, because that deck is starting to see just so much prevalence. I still need to finish my deck. I need a lot of cards. And Dragzin with the 60 stream streak. Look at this man go. Nope, will stop me. No one can stop the multi-strike dragon Dragzin. So you want to change the sleeves. Okay, we'll do that quick. We have 8 minutes till the event starts. So we'll go do that quick. And then we can also just show off the deck that we're playing. We're playing this Royal Rebel list with the Piercing Samurai. We've got the Masakis, and we have the Stop the Fence, which are generally considered, Stop the Fence is generally considered kind of a mid card, but in this deck specifically does work quite well. And I'm wondering if we'll start seeing more decks adapt this in the future. So, what sleeves do you want us on Number Hunter? I assume you're going to want something that is very Tachyon focused, knowing you. I'm not really sure what exactly we're going to have. We have Galaxy Eyes. Go to the event sleeves. We've got... What else do we have? We must have, like... There we go. There's 2 of them here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably what you're after. The Mizar number C107 Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. But we won't put words in your mouth. We'll let you decide. I don't know that there's any other ones actually feature the boy. I literally think it's just these sleeves at all that specifically have Neo Galaxy Eyes. Mizar and number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Ah, so you want the regular? But you've got number 107, which I assume is not C107 then. So you want this one. Okay, well, we'll lock this in if you change your mind. Because, you know, there is a bit of a delay on these, so... But having both Mizar and Barry in Mizar is kind of cool. I like the juxtaposition. We still have another 6 minutes. So yeah, we played 2 days ago. Noodles. We got 9th. We did still get top 10, which we were quite happy with. Yesterday, we played this exact list. And we got to first place very quickly. Within about 5 minutes, we were in first place. Then we played a little bit more. And after about half an hour, we actually had to go and take a break. We had something else to do IRL. And when we came back, we had dropped down to 2nd place. And then we played a few more games, and in the end, we finished in 5th. But we didn't do too bad, considering we actually barely got to play. It's a weird one in a point battle, because you're almost incentivized when you get to the top to just not play anymore and wait till someone overtakes you and then start playing again. But it's weird, right? Because I'm here to just practice and just play the game, so not playing feels counterintuitive. It's very weird. It's very weird. But this is the list that we've been playing. It's got this quite interesting little warrior package that is decent. Piercing Samurai just gives you an option to just get some piercing in. Masaki is obviously a bigger piercer, so that comes up. And the idea is this deck isn't very good at dealing with set 3 pass, so now we have a way to beat set 3 pass. This does come up in quite a few different matchups, but Noodles has so far for me been the most prevalent, where Noodles can just infinitely stall you out and then just burn you slowly. This deck says, oh, if you try that, I am going to pierce over you and do at least some damage in. So again, it's not foolproof, but I think this is one of the better decks in the game right now. But again, all of that is going to change tomorrow with the release of the new products, that being our new mini box, that being our new bundles, and the structure deck, which I think is also coming out tomorrow, even though we haven't had like the whole list for that leaked yet. And then we also have the selection box. Which, I just keep forgetting that selection box even exists. I started playing Pokerogue, and my best score for now is Battle 100. I mean, 100 is still pretty good, especially for just like one day in. It's a deceptively difficult game. When you play it a bit more, you start to like see the patterns, and you start to like know what you should be going for a bit more often. Because like if you just have any kind of basic Pokemon knowledge as well, that also really helps, right? But there are certain things that happen in classic mode that do repeat themselves. You can see the patterns, and then you can start building around them. So I don't want to spoil it too much, because it's part of the fun is like finding that out for yourself. But yeah, it's really good. And when you do finish your run, because you will get to an endpoint eventually, more and more stuff will happen and unlock. So you have more and more stuff to look forward to. But it will be interesting to see what decks we play against today. The last few days, it's been primarily this list, basically, our Royal Rebel list. We've also played against a couple of Noodle players. We've been playing against a lot of Resonance, actually. Resonance has been quite popular. Waikoko is so busted in that game. If you evolve it into Skeledirge, Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, and Hex are the moves I use on him. I think, in general, a lot of the Violet and... God, what's it called? Scarlet and Violet Pokemon are just very, very good. They get very powerful, unique moves. Like, for me, Quaxley and Sprigatito have also been so, so powerful. But, one thing I will say is, if you do take a Pokemon that can Gigantamax or Mega Evolve, you can get the bands and the watch or whatever it is, the crystals, to let them do those things. So I always do like to have like just one of the Gen 1 starters on the team, just because then you can run into like a Mega Evolution band, and then you could Mega Evolve. Mega Evolve is very, very powerful. Broom is also OP. Steel and Poison typing is awesome. Yeah, I personally have been really liking the Steel Fairy types. So Tinkaton, Klefki, and Marwile are the ones that I've been really seeing a lot of success on. Let's say that. Right, should only be another minute before this starts, and then we will fire on into some games, and hopefully we can get some Rebel wins. That's the hope. The hope and the dream. Because Rebels still do the gimmick where you can just kind of wipe the whole board with Doom Metal, and it's very difficult to like play around a lot of the time, and a lot of people just don't. Yeah, I always pick Squirtle for Mega or Dynamax. Yeah, Squirtle's a decent one. I really like Venusaur, but because HMs and TMs are so rare and you rarely get good ones, his level up moves are kind of naff. So it's a bit of a liability. Right, we have 26 people in the room. Should be starting in about 10 seconds. So we'll just fly in and see what kind of matchups we can find. You said see you Sunday in your last stream, you lied. Well, I will also see you Sunday. Like, what's wrong, Manicus? Do you not want extra tomato? No, but we didn't know if we were going to be able to stream today. I don't want to promise something I can't deliver. Alright. So this is going to be probably SAR or Overlord. Most likely Overlord. Overlord seems to be what everyone's been loving recently. Okay, we have a Masaki. How aggro do we want to actually get with this hand is the question. I'm tempted to just leave it like this and just see what he does. This is very greedy, but let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Because I could have got the Doom Metal out, but Doom Metal gains extra value in a game where... If he double Ghost Cyclones me, I'm going to be very sad. Gains extra value in a game against Maximums, which is why we didn't want to, like, throw it out. And, like, we can't guarantee we're going to draw into another 8. First and last time using Royal Rebels in a tournament? We've used... Wait, have we used Royal Rebels in a tournament? Yeah, we used Royal Rebels in a Quantum Rush before. Okay. Interesting we're going full aggro with Magnum L. It's a bit weird, but okay. Alright, we set this. That is a no-brainer. We're then going to summon out both of these, and I think we just hoard these two in hand. Because I could get one of these out, but I don't really want to, because again, we want to be able to answer problematic board states in the future. Do we go for the damage, or do we go for the utility monsters? I think we always try and clear this. Okay, so he has opened Widespread. That's very sad for us. That is very, very sad for us that he got Widespread turn 1. What legend cards I need for zombies? Well, you're always going to want... So we have a new bundle coming out tomorrow, which is going to be Negate Attack. That might end up just straight up being better than Widespread almost all of the time. So it's awkward to dictate when we're about to literally have like a completely new meta. Are you going to use a different deck for the next 4 events happening this weekend, or pick one and roll with it? I haven't really decided yet, is the answer to that question. Well, we have our own Widespread. Fortunately, we've lost a lot of life points, which does mean things are going to get very scary. That's not good either. Okay. So we activate our skill. Bring the boy out. We'll then set. We'll go ahead and tribute both. Activate the effect. Pop that. I think we do just rock the Masaki, to be honest. I think we're at the point where we're not going to be able to like do much anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have done that then. Yeah, we cannot attack directly with monsters using 2600 or more attack. I could have got an extra 1000 damage in, I guess. Alright, we might just be dead. The fact he's using this now tells me we might just be dead. If he had slapped down a monster first, I would have just scooped. But now we have to wait and see what he does. Or did he hard draw the max? Double Talismanic Seal Array. Okay. I hope we get Mizar back after this dumb tag duel is done. I missed number C107, so I need it ASAP. C. Okay, we're going to lose our boss, but that's kind of fine. He also didn't use the skill. We can get that one up to 5. That doesn't really accomplish much. Where are all of our level 7s as well? Like, what's going on with that? I think we do just get aggressive here, right? Like, what else can we realistically do? I think either way we're summoning Nessus. If he summons the max, we're just dead no matter what. So there's no reason to like hold back, right? We'll activate Stop Defense and just see what he's got. Guess we'll just summon this. Activate the effect. We'll throw back in an 8, I guess. Tribute 1. Tribute this, because we can't attack with it anyway after using the skill. Set. We'll just go to battle. We'll just swing. Because he's going to have slime anyway. Oh, he's saving the slime. Okay, I respect it. In which case we should have done the other play just to force the slime out. Because now we have another turn where we can't kill him through slime. Activate shield and sword. Yeah, that's just lethal. Nothing we can do about that. Yeah, that was a very unfortunate game where we never quite had the pieces fall into place. We never had the opportunity to get a buyer getting more than 5, and we never saw an invasion, so we never had access to 2 7s, which meant we could never use Doom Metal's effect, which is very disappointing there. When does the Tag Duel event end? I believe it ends on the 23rd. Is Negate Attack going to be a bundle for 950 gems, or just a regular card and boost box? It's going to be a bundle. Right, let's turn off the camera for a sec. There we go. Didn't need to see me blow my nose. Alright, let's see if we can find a decent game. I already have all the obtainable cards from Tag Duel event. I only have 1 copy of the Pyro Rush back row hate so far, so I still need to collect more of those. Awesome, I don't need my awful pack life to get it. Yeah. I'm surprised we're taking so long to find an opponent, to be honest. Unless we've got, like, an odd number of people, and I'm the odd one out right now. Suppose we also do not need the room code on the screen anymore, since the game has already started, or the tournament has already started. Right, did you buy the one from the vendor? I have not. I've only got the one from going through the rush 3 times. But again, I want it for the sake of having it. I don't think I would use it. At least in the current format, I see no reason to have it in the deck. Okay, we're going first again. Guess we will hold the buyer. I think buyer generally has the most value here. Let's see what our opponent does. It is Luke playing a Luke skill, so it's going to be some form of aggro, you would think. Whether or not that's, you know, actual aggro or any kind of draggiest deck. So that's the whole hand. Okay. Draw for turn. There's no reason to set this, because I'm not going to be discarding anything anyway. So, I think we're going to get a little bit aggressive here and see what happens. We'll activate Piercing Samurai. We'll give this Piercing. We'll go to battle and we'll swing. Get him for a nice 15. We'll take that. And watch this be the big defender. Ooh, all 0 defense. Okay. Well, this puts him in the has to do something camp. Unless he just wants to keep taking 1500 damage each turn. I mean, obviously, you could just set monsters that have defense values. But I want him to commit something. Like a Dragonic Slayer, especially when I have no back row. Dragonic Resonance, boost both. So that little clear, probably these two? I don't think there's necessarily a reason to clear Piercing Samurai here. Unless you just really want to get that extra little bit of damage in. Okay. Goes for the little bit of extra damage. Respect. There's Masaki. The issue is he only has 2 monsters, so Buyer will only go up to 6. This needs to tribute 2 level 7s, so getting its effect off is a little bit awkward. I'd have to use that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and activate Death Doom Requiem. We'll summon this out. Then we're going to summon out Phaser. Activate Phaser. Bring back Heavy Metal. We'll then tribute both. Activate Doom Metal. Then we're going to activate Genie's Fire Breath. Then we'll get rid of this. And then he's going to scoot. Hey, we're in 2nd place. That's nice. Especially after losing the first game. Alright, let's see if we can keep this going. Let's keep this momentum going. Makes you wonder what the back rows were. It's taken long to get in again, which means we might not actually get into the game. Yeah. I don't know why it's doing this today. I assume it's just Konami's, like... Konami servers doing things. Alright. Luke, again. This might be the same player. I don't remember what his name was, so I could not tell you. I don't think that's the same guy. But again, Luke is very popular right now in the Japanese scene. Okay, this hand ain't bad. Definitely not a bad hand. A tea set. Interesting. Well, let's just summon out all of the boys. Activate Piercing Samurai, and we'll give Masaki some piercing. Let's go to battle, and then just hope that this isn't a legend. Which it's not. Then we just get in for a ton of damage, which is exactly what we want. It should be very difficult for us to just die here. It's going to be nice to see so many different decks in tournaments, etc. going forward. It will be... I think we will have a wide diversity of decks for the first, like, week, and then I think things will start to settle, just kind of how they always do in every meta, right? You'll play Pokerogue on stream when you finish that tournament. Never say never. But if I do, it would be probably just right at the end, not for very long. Let's put it that way. Like I say, most people that come to these streams are here for the Yu-Gi-Oh content, and specifically like the Rush Duel content, so we do tend to prioritize that. These are cards. I mean... Piercing Samurai. Set. Swing. I assume he's going to have either Slime or Widespread. There's the Widespread. Get him for another 12. Put him down to 1,000. Then we'll just pass. I would like to see you playing. Maybe I can learn something from you about the game. If he's only setting 1, he must have the Ghost Cyclone. I mean, it's possible. That's... Okay, here we go. It's going to be a Dragius. It is Dragius. I think he's just bricked up on monsters, to be honest. Well, that was a nice quick win. He's just got high levels in hand, I think. Though we had such a good hand, we were kind of ready for anything. The only thing that could have made that hand any better would have been a Doom Metal. Do you follow any PokeTubers? I follow Pichal, or Pokemon Challenges. I follow Jaden Animations. I follow Wolfie VGC. I'm trying to think if I follow anyone else. I follow Pika Spray, but that's like... It's still Pokemon content, but it's very different Pokemon content. I follow Smallant and Shady Penguin. There's probably a few more. They're the ones I can think of. Mange TV is awesome. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at Mange TV quick. $2.2 million subs. He's a little content creator and he's a little small baby one. Only 2.2 mil. Oh. What do we want to do with this hand? I really like holding this. I think we just go defensive here. If we had piercing, I think I'd get aggressive, but like, if this is Royal Rebels, then he's going to struggle to beat our sets. It's Hammer Crush Deal! No! It's aggro! We have been duped. I mean, our back row kind of sucks, so we don't really mind it getting popped. Well, goodbye, reincarnation. If he summons a Dragius, we might be in a very bad situation already, just because we only had 2 bodies to put on the field. That's not good. Because you know these back rows are live as well. You know this is like widespread and slime. You just know it. You just know it. Oh, I'd like to see that gone. Oh, he went straight to battle. What are these sets? If you're... What? Is he just like hard playing around the Doom Metal? I mean, I think I just chill, right? I don't need to go aggressive, and I can't out a Dragius right now anyway. Like, I could run into it with Doom Metal. I think I'm better off just chilling. Like, eventually he has to commit, and now that he's already got 1 Dragius here and 1 Dragius here, it's unlikely he gets 2 Dragius. Which means the maximum damage I should really be taking... I say maximum. The approximated, presumed damage I should be taking is about 25. You summoned it with your hopes to not see Dragius. I mean... Yeah. I want to know what these monsters are. I assume they're, like, okay monsters. He's just actively avoiding using them, specifically so that he doesn't get blown out by Doom Metal. Right, we will activate Death Doom Requiem. Because we have Phaser, we are going to summon out Invasion. This makes more of our plays live. Then, I think we still just set the Masaki. And then we pass. I think this is the play. Because Phaser, if we get any other level 8 or 7, we can now make a Phaser play to bring out Invasion from the graveyard. We just need to have 1 in the graveyard. Tributes 2 for a set. The plot thickens. Ow. And there's the Masaki. Okay. Okay. So this puts us in an interesting position. Do we go for this now? I think we probably do. So let's start with Stop Defense. And I would just love to see what this is. Oh, is that an Ancient Arise Dragon? Interesting, interesting. Anyway, let's go ahead and use Death Doom Requiem. And we'll bring out a Doom Metal. Then we're going to summon out a Phaser. Then I'm going to go ahead... I don't even want to use Genie's Fire Breath here, you know. I think we'll just let it... Like, I think we'll just let him pop whatever we've got. Because he's got 4 cards in hand. Which is what's making me not want to do it. We'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate his effect. We'll flip this up. We'll summon... We will activate the effect. Do we just use this? Depending on what that defensive monster is, we could just win the game if we do this. We will do this. Alright, if we hit a good trap, we do just win the game. That's why we're doing that. Only 200. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to end the game. If that monster had 400 less defense... It's still not bad. We're still on 6,000 life points. The only real negative we have right now is we've already lost 2 Doom Metals. So we'd have to draw into our last Doom Metal. And then we have to draw the corresponding cards to actually get it out. Hey, Dwan, welcome on in with the old pot friend. Who doesn't love the pot friend? Royal Rebel is a rough matchup against Dragius player who knows how to play around Royal Rebel. That's why Stop Defense is actually a surprisingly good card in this, because people play around it as they should, and then you go Stop Defense. No, you're not playing around me anymore. Okay, this is actually not too bad. This has reduced my total board's power by what? 2,200? Which it could have been a lot worse. As far as sword and shield, or shield and sword plays goes, this is not too bad at all. Right, does the Sanctity to reduce that? Tributes 2. Didn't use this. Oh, you can't use the second one. There's no way this is lethal. No way this is lethal. Even with everything he has on board, even if it all got direct attacks, it still wouldn't be lethal. It'd still be 600 off. Okay, that back row is the only thing that we have to really worry about. If we draw just two 1500s, it could be Slime. Matt, if he's drawn Slime as his last card. Oh, we don't even have to worry about it, boys. Oh, yeah, look at this. Death Doom Requiem. Bring out the Invasion. No, I don't want to get another card. Normal Summon Phaser. Phaser's effect. We'll bring back a level 8. Then we'll go ahead and Tribute 2. 1 and 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the effect and burn for lethal. Yeah, we'll save that replay. That was a good one. Now, and there's the disconnect right at the end. Alright, we're in first place currently. Do we think we can maintain first place? Stupid ad just popped up. The ads will forever pop up at the worst possible times. That is just how ads work. Oh no, he's feeling Royal Rebels. He's about to send it. I will say, I think that Death Doom Requiem has always been cool. I think... Oh, we got matched against that guy again, but it didn't work. I think Death Doom Requiem has always been really cool. I've never disliked this deck specifically. I thought Hell Tuning Invasion... Even Hell Tuning Invasion had its merits. I didn't like how one-dimensional it made the game feel. This deck still has the ability to warp the meta a little bit, in that you have to play around it, right? And you kind of have to deck build in ways a lot of the time that can beat it. But in the same way that Overlord does, right? You kind of want to have something in your deck to stop Overlord from killing you. Do we go aggressive here, is the question. I don't have to, but I could. Oh, we always set this. We still don't know what we're against, even. I think we will. We're going to go aggressive. We're going to see how this works out. Because if we can reduce the amount of resources he has... It works out really well for us. Watch this be the only monster with defense value. Oh, no, we're fine. Okay. All things considered, that went quite well. Now, what I have just realised is this might just be Seven's Axel Road, in which case we've given him exactly what he wants. It is Maximum Overlord. Okay, in which case it does not matter. Let's see how much damage he can put down. Reducing the amount of resources he has, I still think works quite well here, especially since he summoned this, which means he does not have a Seven's Road Magician, otherwise we'd just summon that. Straight to battle, and he's just going to attack over that. That is fine for us. We do not mind that at all. Okay, so we can just pop that and then go in for an attack. I think we probably do. We'll just go Shadowfire. Activate the effect of Shadowfire. We'll put Shadowfire back. We'll then go ahead and Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon the boy. We'll activate his effects. We'll pop this and gain some attack. We'll summon out Piercing Samurai. We'll activate Piercing Samurai. Give Piercing Samurai itself the piercing. We're then going to use Genie's Fire Breath, and I am going to hit the middle back one. because that did have a response window. So I can't attack with him, unfortunately. So he does have 2. So we had 2 respondable traps. And he does have the recital. Okay, so he has stopped himself taking a chunk of damage. Yeah, so we couldn't attack with Piercing Samurai because we used Shadow Bai's effect, which is what the mill. Remember Noah direct attack with heavy metal? Well, we could have direct attack with heavy metal because we didn't use the skill. Right, maximum overload. So the main reason we were happy to use the genies there as well is because he's drawing 1 less card this turn, because he had 4 or less cards in hand. Let's see what he's going to flip up here. Okay, so it is Torna, so he can change to defense and try and attack over if he wants to, which means another card gone from hand. He's still going to have a very good back row. So this is that mystery card that was a pain in the ass for us before. I think we will protect our monster here. We have a good chance to get a lot of good damage in here. If we draw like a stop defense or something. No stop defense. Alright, we are going to get a little bit greedy. We're going to tribute this out. And then we're going to summon this, because again, if this does pierce for enough, we can just end the game. Okay, so he's going to have something to stop these attacks. Let's see what he's got. He does have the widespread, so he's going to clear this one, because there's no reason to not. Now he just needs to top deck the max. He knows he's getting 1 piece for sure, but does he hard draw the other 2? High time to cook Japanese boys with their own sauce. I mean, if he just rips the max here, we are just dead. But this deck doesn't really have a good out to the max. Okay, no max, which means we still could die. But it's less likely we die. Okay, so this is probably an SRM. He hasn't seen one yet, so the chances of him having one should be quite high. What will our Maximum Overlord opponent do next? 3 cards in hand. I'm pretty sure the card he sent back before was not... Let's double check so we can scroll all the way back up. He had a green, so we know he has a right piece in his hand at the moment. We don't know what the other 2 cards are. But that's the piece we knew that he had. Tribute set. I would expect this to probably be a Torna, and he just didn't see a reason to summon it. He's worried about just dying. Another back row as well. That could also be anything. I mean, we have lethal through most things. No, we don't, because we'd have to, in order to use this, we need a 7 or higher. So I could get this out with the skill, then use that to get that out, but then it doesn't go anywhere. So we can't do that. Unfortunately, he can't get up to 7. This should still be able to clear this if we want to. We're in a really awkward situation here. Unfortunately, this hand is just a little bit too bad. I feel like most situations we would have just been able to kill here, but... You can only go up to 5. 5 doesn't do anything. You need 2 7s. You can't use your effect without 7. So I can get a 7 out, then use that to get another body, but it doesn't do anything. I also don't want to leave this here. I think we change this to defense. We summon out the Archfiend Soldier, because I think I really have to clear this. Then I don't think having 2 phases does anything. We swing here, and then once again, we're in the, for the love of God, please do not draw the maximum kind of camp. If he draws the max, we're just dead. There's nothing we can do about it. He's already lost... Okay, he's got 2 middle pieces and 2 blue pieces left in deck, so there is an okay chance he could... Oh, no. That's going to be lethal. Nothing we can do about that. There's no way... Oh, he does choose that. Okay, so has he got guaranteed lethal here then? 36, that's 24. He's 500 shy of lethal right now. Has he got the TSA? TSA is just... Oh, because that's going to reduce by 8. Yeah, it's just lethal. Nothing I can do about it. Ah, that's a shame. If we had drawn slightly differently, if we'd drawn any other boss monster, we could have just won. But, unfortunately, we got a little bit unlucky with those draws. Because we still had... What? We had 1 Doom, 3 Invasion, 2 Heavy Metal still in deck. So the chances of us drawing one were very, very high. We just, unfortunately, got unlucky there. Can we hear some Pokemon music? I mean, we're just gonna let the music roll for now while we're playing in the point battle. But Pokemon music will come up. I mean, this is Pokemon music right now. XD Gale of Darkness Battle Sim for me. I mean, we'll do music requests after the point battle. Right now, we're just gonna like focus on this. I really don't like losing to Overlord, just because it never feels earned when Overlord wins. Like, it just feels like they always just sack. Makes me feel sad. Okay, so we have a tribute set. Right, we will summon. I think we are just going to go full aggro here. Chances of this set having 1000 defense should be quite high, so we are going to attack over that. Oh, it's Seven's Axel Road. This is the SAR Spice. Okay, okay. That makes this play feel a little bit worse. Although it's still only turn 3. So we are going to tribute. We are going to summon the Witch. Probably going to use the Witch effect. Which means we're going to have... There's a high chance he just has the SRM. Yeah. This is the high roll. We do have the widespread to protect though. So this isn't actually that bad. Especially if this isn't a monster that you can summon. It's a back row. That could be good or it could be bad, depending. We'll fire out the widespread. We'll just stop that. Does clear the Shadow Buyer. So I mean, Shadow Buyer wouldn't be too good here because we've got 2 warriors on the field. Alright, we have a couple of options. I think we want to get you off either way, which means I'd have to summon you. So what would we do? We could summon this, Tribute 2 to get you out. Summon this, Tribute 2 to get you out. That's probably the play. So we'll go ahead and we'll tribute both of our warriors. Then I'm going to set. Then we'll tribute 1, tribute 2, summon the boy, activate the effect, pop this. Normal summon. Go to battle. Let's see if he has the widespread or the slime. Of course he has the widespread or the slime. Oh, of course. That's sad, but there's nothing we could have done about it anyway. Unfortunately, we're down to 44, which means if he gets very lucky here, we could just die. He would need Shield and Sword or TSA, as well as like full combo. Now just don't have your last Seven's Road Witch, right? You only have 1 left in the deck. If you don't have it, we're still kind of okay. Okay, that's not the Witch. That's at least something. Goes for the Seven's Axel Road. Boost up to 24. So he's still 2,000 off of killing us. 2 sets. Okay, okay. Just clears over this. Nothing we can do about that. Could have been a lot worse. If we do this, we lock ourselves into only attacking with Fiends. That's kind of fine, though. We don't mind that. Ah, we do, actually. We could pop that, swing over with 1. Swing over another. Do we even have our Moby sleeves? And you're gonna have to wait till after I put that up to do these anyway. The problem is we only have warriors. That's what's like making this really crappy right now. What are the chances his monsters have really low attack? Probably not that great. The problem is, if he just draws full combo, we die anyway. Alright, we are just going to go for this. We're going to go for this. We're going to go Shadowbuyer. We're going to activate Shadowbuyer effect. We're going to go ahead and stick probably Heavy Metal back in. Then we're going to Tribute 2. Go ahead and activate Heavy Metal. We'll pop this. We're then going to flip over Stop Defense and flip this up. We'll set. And then I guess we just have to set a monster because our warriors can't attack this turn anyway. But if he just draws into Seven's Red Witch, this is looking very, very, very dicey. Katana Mat, everyone got the Amavi sleeves in the other tab, should be. Okay. He's got 9 cards left in deck. We've only seen 1 SRM. Set. Tribute both SRM. My man is on a pretty deep Thunder package, isn't he? Magical Stream, that's fine. It's just Genie's Fire Breath. That's not doing anything. Seven's Road. And the TSA! No! He had exactly what he needed. That was the exact hand to kill us. Ah, that's sad. That makes me very sad. He even had the back row pop in case our back row was live. Ah, that is so sad. That's so sad. I mean, to be fair, the 2 losses we've got have been quite, like, unlucky losses. It's like, if we had had just not a warrior, and we didn't have to use Shadowbuyer to get the Heavy Metal effect off, we do just win on that turn, right? If he didn't have the Slime on, like, turn 1, we would have won the game at the very, very start. Like, it's been very awkward for us. And the game before that, again, we were like, any boss monster off the top is lethal, and we're running 9 of them. So, like, the chances were so high, and we just didn't see it. I don't think there's anything... I mean, maybe we could have played it a little bit better. I'm trying to, like, think if there were any big turns that would have changed if we had played slightly differently. So this is the same opponent again. Right, let's activate Death Doom Requiem. I think we do just play this slow. There's no reason to, like, do anything crazy here. We've got 0 defenders, but he only gets his piercing if we have no cards in our hands. We don't have to worry about that. Just tally up to not being experienced with Royal Rebels, as you are Noodle. I don't... Like I said, I don't think I could have played it any better. I think it's literally just like the odds of me drawing into better cards were quite high and we just didn't get them. So I think I'll just go chalk up to dumb luck, move on, to be honest. This is a bold play. My assumption is he is so confident in his back row, he does not mind leaving 3 monsters in attack mode. That is how I'm going to like look at this. Which is a bit scary, because it means when I do go for a push... I mean, if we do just draw the Doom Metal, we will go for the push, right? There's no reason not to. There's the Doom Metal, so we're going to go for the push. Summon this. Summon this. Now, he's going to destroy our boy. There's nothing we can do about that. We're expecting a widespread. So, widespread is probably... What on earth? Why would you go that aggressive? Right, so his back row's then got to be back row hate. He's got Shield and Sword, and he's got Magical Stream. And maybe even a TSA. I'm going to call it TSA, Magical Stream, Sword and Shield. Or Shield and Sword, even. That's what we're going to call it. Yep, there's the shield and sword. And in the spot we clicked as well, just to make it even funnier. Blast Jaws. Okay. 1600 attack currently. 7's Axel Road. 7's Axel Road works on any monster? That is so funny. I get it works on 1600s. I didn't think it would work on non-spellcasters. Tributes both for the only monster he's going to have. I mean, we can stop one of these attacks at least. That is so big seeing that gone. Good morning, how's it going? We're doing quite well. There's the magical stream. Okay, we expected the magic. And again, it's in exactly the spot we said it was going to be. And it's the TSA in the spot we predicted. How did we do it? We predicted all 3 back row and we predicted where they were with 0 information. We are now dead though, right? This is straight lethal. I feel like we just got utterly sacked. Like, we just got completely and utterly sacked out of our arse. There is nothing we could have done there to not lose to that. That needs to be clipped for a short on YouTube. I mean, if someone wants to clip it, feel free, but... Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. Quick's raiding with 13 people. Welcome, welcome on in, everyone. We are currently playing in a Japanese point battle in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. I'm sure that nobody in the Destiny community probably care about this, but we're currently basically playing in a competitive environment against some of the better players in the world. That's what we're doing right now. No one was online. This is a tournament. It's not really a tournament. It's more like a extravagant place to like practice playing. That's like the best way to describe it, I guess. Ew, what are we against? We have no idea what we're against. I think we're just going to go defensive with 3 boys. Wait, sad your brother is raiding? We're not sad that Steve's raiding. And also, we have reached our follower goal. Thank you so much for the follow. Who did just follow? The Rimmy. Thanks for the follow, Rimmy. High up for a duel. We are currently playing in a point battle, so we cannot currently commit to a duel. But yeah, we've been a bit of a streak of bad luck is currently how we're gonna like chalk it down. Oh, nice. I didn't even realize was 350th. I just followed because you're cool. Thanks, buddy. Big up the goal reached. Yeah, we are happy to reach our goal. But yeah, we've been getting very unfortunate the last handful of games. We actually did shoot up to first place just now, and we have just been on a loss streak since then. He's only got 2 monsters, which means we can't do anything. How do we want to do this? No matter how we do this, it's kind of bad. Because, like, I could just, like, try and attack over this, but, like, what does it get me? If he has back row, it stops it anyway. I don't think there's a point in trying. I think we just go... We'll go Nessus. We'll probably just set this. Set a back row, go battle, and then we will just attempt to get him for the 500. He's going to flip one of our guys up anyway, so there's no reason just not have 1. We could have done 2, but then we just take more damage in return. We're going to be taking this damage anyway, so we might as well try for something. There is technically a potential punish if he does have like a widespread, but I don't know if he'd bother using a widespread on a 15. To be honest, I don't have the slightest clue how Rush be right now with the maximum and whatnot. I just know Harpies didn't quite work for me in that format. Harpies are actually one of the better decks right now. They're really, really strong. Maybe this stream will enlighten me. We'll have to see. Hello, Daisy, Ridley. Welcome on in. And Swig with the odds of knocking the power off the banter. I mean, even if we lost, like, power here, it wouldn't really be the end of the world. Like, again, this isn't like a tournament. This is, like, just competitive deck testing is the way to think of it. And we have a new format starting tomorrow because we're getting a bunch of new cards added into the game tomorrow. So this is just a bit of fun, really. Goes for the Hysteric Force. It's just going to pile all the damage on. Unfortunately as well, he has summoned Harpy Lady Sisters R, which hard counters our deck. So we are in a very, very bad position, both RNG-wise and the fact that our opponent has drawn into one of their better cards to deal with what we've got. This is mostly invest on speed cards, especially lately because... I just mostly invest on speed cards, especially lately because it's getting some of my favorite decks. It's hard to even do Rookie in Rush. I mean, I suppose it depends, right? Ooh, we could go for a big push. We have the potential. Do we want to? Because I could just do this. We would force him to use a back row. Alright, let's go Buyer. We'll go Buyer. We're going to go ahead and use Buyer Effect. And we will just put back a Buyer. Then, we have a Warrior down. This guy's more defense. I don't think the defense is going to matter, so we are just going to do it like this. I want to maintain these cards in hand. So, I will Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon out the boy, activate Heavy Metal's effect. We'll go ahead and pop the Sisters. Now, I think we are going to use Genies, just because he's got 3 cards in hand. The question is, am we going to dump one of these onto the field? I think I should, but am I going to? I think we will. I think we need to be able to live the turn when he inevitably just flips over his Widespread Ruin. Okay, no Widespread. Okay, all in all, that went okay. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. I think I was too focused on gathering the 3 Harpies when I did not play when I did play Harpies though. Yes, Harpies very, very rarely perform a maximum summon, so you just don't really worry about it. This player ain't doing that, and it's working. Yeah, exactly. Harpies is a deck that you don't really worry about the maximum. If the maximum happens, it's a happy accident, right? But other than that, you just play it like a aggro beat. No, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. If he does a Harpy's Pet Dragon, Harpy Lady Sisters play, I'm going to be very sad because we will just die. And Bottler Works jamming out to the Persona tunes. There's another back row. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, it becomes more intuitive when you've played the physical game. Just because in the physical game you do the exact same thing, right? If the maximum happens in the physical game, great. If not, you're quite happy to just not ever maximum summon. Is there any consistent maximum at the Mo then? The most consistent has got to be Overlord, just because you can keep stacking a card back to the top of your deck, and the deck itself is just kind of fine. That is an interesting one. If we use the skill, we can't direct attack with a big guy, which is fine. If I pop this, I would have to get a direct attack on the 3rd. With 2 back row, the chances of that happening are quite low. If we bring a card back to hand, there's not a lot worth bringing back, other than just like an extra body to be tributed. I could pop that and burn for 500. Doesn't really change anything. We don't have Stop Defense to get any like extra little chip damage in. We could maybe use Piercing Samurai and try and use Masaki to get extra little damage in. We'd have to attack over this for something big. We realistically don't have a way to do that. The biggest we can get at it. We could just summon out the Heavy Metal. Pop that. Go for 2 attacks and just go for the win. If we go full-on defense, we'll lose anyway. If we put this to attack, we still just lose anyway. So, I think the player is going to be flip this, use this to give this piercing. Tribute 2 to summon this. No, but that's still bad. That's still bad. I can activate this to get an extra body, then give himself piercing. Is that the best we're going to get? Because of the amount of bodies on board is awkward for us. Alright, we're going to activate Monster Reincarnation. We'll go ahead and discard Invasion. And we're going to grab back just a nice body. Take this back. We'll then set this. And then Tribute. It has to be this. Do I have to do it that way? Because we have to summon you as well, right? 1, 2 for you. Summon you, that'll be it. Oh, actually, no, that is awkward. Right, we'll flip this. I should have summoned this. It doesn't really make much difference. Okay, we'll tribute this. Tribute this. We haven't done this very well. Activate the effect. Pop this. Summon this. Activate the effect. We'll throw piercing over here. And then we're just going to kind of hope. I don't think there's much more we can do. We have to just hope that this clears. Oh, it would have cleared the other one. This is going to be the 14, isn't it? Oh. Hey, we messed that up so badly, by the way. We messed that up so badly. We just played that wrong most of that time. And we still somehow won. We will take it. We will take that. Everyone about to get jampeed by Psychics? We'll see. We'll see. I kind of wanted to play Psychics in Rush because I like the music aesthetic, but since they weren't that good on release, I ended up falling off a bit. Yeah, Psychics are a hard sell. Can burn for 500, Reincarnation 15, kill defense monsters, direct attack with Doom Metal. Yeah, we were trying to find a way to play around him having, like, recitals and stuff, but I don't think there was a way. I think it was literally just, like, go for a push or don't. And don't, I think, just is death. I think with this hand, we will just chill. We're just going to set 3 pass. We still don't know what we're against yet. I don't know if we played against this guy before, because obviously I'm not very good at memorizing Japanese characters. You could have took by a summoned heavy with it, then you skill to summon another Doom in defense. I mean, would we have wanted another Doom in defense? We would have already had attack position monsters, so it wouldn't have made much difference in terms of... Oh, there's Magical Stream. In terms of, that's the one I'd much rather have had as well. In terms of playing around, like, the skill. Okay. We lose a buyer. That's kind of fine. Those are cards. We can't get good piercing. We can get a little bit of piercing if we want. We always set this. Because I could go for a little bit of piercing, but, like, what does it get me? Like, not a lot, really. Because he's just going to attack over with the 15 anyway. So I think we do just chill on this. And we'll toggle off for now. Let's see what he does. Let's see what our opponent does. Okay, we've got a dealer. We're on turn 5 as well. So assuming that he is on SAR, you can now make a play. Though his board is a little bit clogged up. Please respect Psychics, Tomato. I don't disrespect them. I just think they're a bit of an awkward spot right now. If he doesn't have a Torna, like, we are just big chilling. Well, I will just let you attack these. That's fine. There you go, buddy. You can kill both of them. That's fine. Doom Metal is so mid here. I need a 7. We can still do things. It's just we're playing into his back row. Because even if we had the buyer, it wouldn't do anything, because he's got only 2 face-up monsters. Getting rid of the Nessus feels bad, but, like, what else do we actually do here? Right, we'll go ahead and activate Death Doom Requiem. We bring out a Death Doom. We're going to activate the Genie's Fire Breath, because it might come up. Get rid of this. We'll tribute both. Activate the effect. Pop that. I mean, we could just grab back a body and just throw it out. I'd probably even put it in defense mode. I think we will do that just to play it safe. You have the best defense. Come out. Swing him. Ah, okay. No, there was a delay. There was a delay. So that's a back row. So that's probably Slime. I think Slime is the best card that you could use there that you wouldn't want to use. Shield and Sword, of course. Why are we... Yeah. Yeah. And here I thought we were going to get some decent practice, not just sacked by maximum. Feels bad, man. I really, really, really wish that Overlord would just go and do one, mate. Like, seriously, I hate that card so much. It's so gimmicky as well. It feels like it's what bad players use just to win games that they can't win by playing, like, regular. Like, it sucks so much. I'll try my hardest to make people respect the Psych. Can't wait for that widespread to be negate attack, huh? I mean, I would love to have negate attack already. Like, so much. Alright, well, we'll just set 3. And we'll just pass. Unfortunately, today, we've had some really good games today, but, like, we just keep getting just absolutely, like, top-decked. Like, our opponents keep top-decking the exact perfect outs that they need. And it's happened a lot today, which is making things, like, go very awkwardly. Oh, this is also pretty cringe, because we're going to take 2500 direct now. If we do just draw a 7 and an 8, we are big chilling. But finding a 7 in the top 3, I think is going to be a tall ask. Well, there's the 7, but we don't have the 8. What is the play here? We set this. We have to use the skill. And the 7 is less likely to show up, so I think we have to set this. We have to just commit that we're just taking another at least 25 and just hope. There's nothing else we can do. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Don't be another Dragius. Bro, fuck off. Come on, man. Oh, we're back down to 0. We were in first place. And we're back down to 0 points because we're getting sacked constantly. This is so sad. This is so sad. This is like, this is our villain arc, where we just get beaten down by people just ripping off the top of their deck exactly what they need constantly. Alright, it's fine, it's fine. We'll make a comeback here. Now is probably playing Cyberse. That seems to be his kind of MO. From king to punching bag. Apparently so. We even finished the last 2 point battles in a really good spot. It's just today we're just getting dumpstered. And again, in my opinion, right, to no fault of our own, we are just getting utterly sacked. Okay, so we're going to summon out a big boy. We just want to get rid of a card. Interesting. If we use the skill, we can't attack directly. Alright, we are going to use this. We're going to go ahead and set the invasion. Are we setting that as well? That's the question. I'll tell you what, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's just make big boy. Let's see if we can get him to use some back row. Summon out Masaki. There's no real reason to bring one of them back right now, so I think we're just going to set this. Go to battle. This should be able to clear. And then 25 direct is still good damage. That's what he does. Let's see what he does. So this isn't too bad of a board to out, to be honest. He's going to reduce our attack by 800 using both of them on us. That is very interesting. Why would you bother reducing the attack of Doom Metal? You got a TSA? No, we're just going to use literally just empty the hand. Okay. Interesting. Without a stop defense, we can't make like a big play. Doing that doesn't do anything. We could go for like a little bit of piercing. It comes down to what his back row is. I think we do go for this play because there is a okay chance that we do just end the game here. So we'll use Piercing Samurai's effect on itself. Most of the cards in his deck are going to have next to no defense value, so that should be just a nice little bit of direct damage. Okay, so this last back row he's drawn then has been something good. So he did draw a widespread for the turn. So we do get some damage in. We do get to clear his whole board. But he's not dead, which is obviously what we would like to have. What we would have liked to have happen. Yugdrago incoming. Yugdrago... We have the reincarnation, so if that doesn't get popped, we still will have access to Doom Metal, and then we just need any 8 and any 7, and we're kind of good to go. Because we do have just like an in-art type way to deal with Yugdrago, so it's not... Like, it's not great, but it's also not completely terrible. Okay, well that's gone. Double Ghost Cyclone, bro. As long as he doesn't... Right, now if he drops the max, now it's a lot scarier. Come on. That is so bad for us, because now we have to draw a very specific hand to win. Otherwise we probably just lose. Oh, if he didn't pop our back row, I was kind of just fine. My guess is he just literally top decked this off of the double Ghost Cyclone. Alright, we still can win, but we need a very specific hand. We need Invasion, Heavy Metal, and our last Doom Lord. Or Doom Metal. Fortunately, that's not going to do it. There's nothing we can do. The game is over. I mean, it's just another sack game, really. Again, there's nothing we could have done. That was just another game of just get unlucky, I guess, GG. He had to draw exactly the widespread to not just die. Then he needed to have the TSA to empty his graveyard so he could get draws off of the Galaxy Cyclone. Then he needed to draw into the max using both the Galaxy Cyclones. I think 99 out of 100 times he loses there, and he found the one. That's all that is. We just got utterly sacked. I don't get why he was thinking that hard if he had all of that, to be honest. It's because he had to empty his graveyard to turn his Galaxy Cyclones on to then draw into the max, which then changed his strategy. And he was trying to play around anything that I could possibly have on, like, the crackback. Set one pass. Does that mean he just has the max? I mean, I'm just going to get damage in, right? I'm going to try. Swing. 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 Pass turn. If you pass turn 1, is it because you just have the maximum? Yeah, okay. So there's nothing we could have done about this, right? No matter what, he can flip one of our guys up and reduce its attack. So, like, there was nothing we could have done differently knowing he had the maximum. But again, if we do just draw a 7 and an 8, which we have 3 7s and we have 5 8s. If we just draw a 7 and an 8, we do just kind of win here. Bro. Yep, just get sacked again. I can't do anything about this. We're just getting sacked every single game. Our deck isn't even bad. We're not even playing bad. We're just getting utterly dumpstered by people that are just getting lucky. And everyone is playing maximums today as well. Why is everyone on maxes? We've literally played... I think we played against 2 people playing aggro. 1 person playing SAR. Everyone else has been on either Cyburst or... Oh no, we played against a couple of thingies, to be fair. A couple of Royal Rebels. Come on, you Drago. Yeah, that's the worst feeling, honestly, to lose to. There's nothing... Again, we're doing the best we can. We're just getting shafted. There's nothing we can do about it. It's not like, oh, if we just play it differently, we could just win. That's just not how this works. If they draw exactly the God Hand and we don't, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Is that 2? We know what his back row is. This is going to be a Dragius. Oh, no, it's Trigger Drago. Okay, Trigger Drago's fine. We're on turn 2, and yet we didn't decide to mill with the Essel. Interesting. I don't know, I prefer to know I've misplayed if I lose. At least there's room for improvement. I mean, yeah, but sometimes you're just going to get unlucky. That's just how games go, right? Not the end of the world. Alright, I think we are going to go for the Death Doom here. We have to get some of the stuff out of our hand anyway. We'll go 1. We'll go 2. Summon out Doom Metal. Activate Doom Metal. We'll summon out Masaki. And we'll flip up Piercing Samurai. We'll go ahead and activate Piercing Samurai. Give Masaki a little bit of piercing. Go to battle. Swing over this. And then we will just end the game. Okay, we're back on the board. We've only got 25 minutes left of this point battle, so our chances of winning it are looking quite slim. But again, we never really came to win. We just wanted to, like, get some good testing in. Unfortunately, the testing quality has been garbage because it's just been super high-rolly, which has meant we haven't really gotten much good testing out of it. I mean, we haven't really, like, learned any other ways to play. The only other thing I could potentially do is find room in the deck for a Majesty. But the problem with Majesty is it means taking 4 cards out of the deck because we want to have at least 3 level 1 Fiends. And the problem with that is the deck is very, very tight in its construction to be able to find lethal from very specific points. So the only cards that are really able to be removed without hurting the consistency is going to be the 1500 vanillas, but we need the Masakis to get the piercing because that's a big part of how we win the matchups that we should lose. And having the 1500 fiends means that we can still attack with those to get good damage in after using Buyer's effect. So like it's very awkward. Like mixing up the ratios at all feel quite bad. The only other thing we could do is put Slime in. Obviously we'll have Slime tomorrow. Okay, another Luke player. I think we have been beating most of the Lukes we played. Fire. Okay. This is an okay open. It's not great. It's not bad. It's kind of an okay mid-open. Oh heck, is that a winged dragon guardian of the fortress? Discards Dragius. What is in your hand that you're discarding a Dragius? Double Dragius, okay. Yeah, I don't know I would have made this play personally, but starting off with 2 boss monsters is obviously quite unlucky. We are in a bit of a weird situation as well, where neither of our boss monsters actually do anything right now. I'd really like to punish this, but we need the other boss monster that we don't have. Which is so awkward for us. I think all we can do is just go defensive and pass. And only 2 monsters as well means we potentially take like 4,000 damage here. If we just had an extra boss monster, anything other than an invasion, even an invasion would have been fine. We just need not this hand. A heavy metal would have been perfect. I wouldn't think too hard about your current deck when tomorrow you have options to change it. I mean, yeah, but I don't know if this deck specifically will be changing that much. Oh, that's gross as well. An extra multi-attacker. Oh, and he attacked in the perfect order to get maximum damage as well. Oh, that's pretty cringe. Alright, can I please see a heavy metal? Nope. Bro, what is happening? We have a play at least. So we'll go Reincarnation. think we have to get rid of one of his back row. I don't think we get the luxury of not doing that. Activate Shadow Buyer, or put back Shadow Buyer. We'll activate Deathbeam Requiem. Throw this out. We'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate Doom. We're just going to go for a big push. We potentially could have had lethal, but if his back row is anything, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Yeah, he had a widespread, so it didn't matter anyway. Which means now we just died at anything. My man seriously opened Double Dragius, found the Twin Edge Dragon, opened the Widespread Ruin, just drew into the Shield and Sword, and attacked in the correct order, winning the 50-50 on the defense monsters. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. That was just another dumb luck game. There's nothing I could do about it. Like, no amount of playing that any better, or like thinking about those plays, changes that result, which is just so sad. There's nothing I could have done. That was literally, we just needed heavy metal. Heavy metal there just wins the game on the spot, but just didn't have it. We had Doom and Invasion instead. And this is such a good going second hand, and we've drawn it going first. Well, let's just do a T-set and pass and see what our opponent does. Gavin as well. Does that mean this is going to be like Yami Ruler? Which is quite good into our deck. It's Yami Ruler Burn. I'll tell you what, let's just go next, because this is going to be such a waste of time, and we are on a clock, so I don't think there's a point. And learning that matchup means so little to me. Like, I do not care about learning the Yami Ruler Burn matchup. I'm going to save up my games until I get 10k. Yeah, good luck. Alright, we're against Nanao himself. This is the first time playing against him today. Could be on... I don't know, I assume he's going to be on Harpies. Alright, we will just throw out some defense monsters, set a card to the back row, and then pass. That's all we're going to do. Oh, he is playing Noodles. Okay, okay. Going straight in with the Spice. Spice is kind of okay. So the fact he summoned Spice this early tells me he probably has another boss monster in hand. Oh, no boss monster. Okay, why would you... And then we've milled the Widespread as well. That's pretty good for us. So I know what his defense monster is. How much defense has it got? It's got 1,000. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I could pop this, go for a swing on this if I want to. If I go for this play, it does make things a little bit awkward. I could do Buyer, actually. Means I won't be able to attack with that, but the rest of it's good. So we will activate Stop Defense. I'm gonna flip this up. We're going to summon out Buyer. Go ahead and use Buyer's effect. Shuffle this back in. Then I'm going to activate Deathbeam Requiem. Summon this out. I'm going to Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate this. We'll summon... We will activate Genie's Fire Breath. Go to battle, and then we'll just swing both. Unfortunately, this is a warrior, so it can't attack this turn. Because we did use Buyer's effect, which means that only Fiends can attack. I want that dual challenge, though. And it could be yours. Set 3. Okay. Draw for turn. That is a very good card. Okay, we will activate Stop Defense. We'll use it on this. We'll set. If I just tribute these, I can get 400 burn in. Yeah, okay, we'll do this. So tribute 1, tribute 2. Then we're going to tribute 1, tribute 2. And we'll just burn. Alright, we got a win. We've been on a very roller coaster ride of a point battle today, but we're getting wins some places. And that's what really counts. This guy I will call E, because the first character of his name looks like an E. I don't know if it is an E, or if it is a Japanese character, but it is E. Maximum Overload again. God, everyone is just on Maximum Overload today. We played against this guy before, because we recognize these sleeves. Alright, let's get aggressive. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and use Piercing Samurai. We'll go ahead and use Piercing Samurai. We're then going to go to battle, and I'm going to attack into this one. Attack into this one. And then we'll see if this is a Tawna. It is a Tawna. Perfect. And we'll just pass. Yuya. Yep. What about Yuya? Maximum Overload. Okay. Again, if he just has the max, we are just dead. But, like, this deck can't really play around that too well. Like we said, we don't have any of the back row that saves us. Hey, Corino. Welcome, welcome on in. Rebukes to summon out the Tawna. This is probably going to be a 7's road then. Ooh. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Draw for turn. We could summon Tribute 2, get this out, pop this. If I don't use the skill, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we just don't use the skill, we should just be able to win. So if I summon this, we normal summon this by tributing, I don't know, this and this. Why not? Then I can summon this, activate the effect, bring back Doom Metal, tribute 1, tribute 2, activate the effect, pop this, summon this, go to battle, swing over this, and then because we haven't used the skill, we can just attack with this. Nice. That's the red one now. I do not know what we mean by that, but I am willing to listen. Alright, let's go again. We've got 11 minutes left. There is a very, very, very slim chance we can climb into a respectable position. But we're going to try. We're going to give it a ruddy good go and see what happens. It's E again, which means it's going to be Magnum Overlord once again. I'm going to be AFK and listen to some music. So as I play Duel Links, I need to grind. I respect it. Well, thanks for the lurk at the very least. We do appreciate it. Okay, let's see what he does. We're going to set. We're going to set. We're going to set. We're going to pass. Okay. So we'll draw. We have a stop defense. I don't think now is a good time for stop defense. In order to use this, I'd have to have 3 face-up monsters, which is very awkward. I don't think we bother going for that. I think we just chill. As much as I would love to get aggressive, I think it's just bad to get aggressive here. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what E has for us. Tributes 1, summons out the Tawna. Uses the Tawna. There's only one we don't want him to hit. Okay, that's fine. That is middle of the road. Middle of the road is A-okay. Cheats out another body. Reduces that down by 400. Just goes in for the 12. Okay. We still don't really have much of a play to make here, really. I would really like to clear this, but it's very awkward. I guess we could just summon it. Like, it's not the end of the world to summon it. The issue is we have no way to boost it up. I'd also have to give this up, which kind of sucks. Alright, let's just do this. We'll set this. We're going to tribute 1. We're going to tribute 2. We're going to summon out the boy. We're then going to just go ahead and fire off the Genie's Fire Breath, because I just want this to connect. We'll put this back in the hand. Also reduces the chance that he draws into a good hand. We'll flip both of these. Go to battle. Swing over this. Now, there's a chance that this has high defense. There it is. And we'll swing over this. And then we'll pass. Alright. So the maximum is still going to mess me up. Anything else should be okay. We just need not the max. But Maximo Overlord, that's good for us so far. Oh, actually, saying that, we are very, very, very susceptible to Shield and Sword right now. Is that a Sevens Road Magician? Is that the Sevens Magic Road? Right, goes for an attack. We'll say no to that. There's not really going to be a better opportunity. We take a Hundy. That's fine. Now, if we can make a Doom Metal play here, that would be so big. We have the Doom. That back row is scary, but we do have the Doom. Alright, we'll start with Stop Defense. We'll flip this up. We'll then go ahead and activate Death Doom Requiem. We'll summon out a Doom. We'll then Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Alright, now we just need his back row to be nothing, and we win. Excellent. Excelente. Okay, we're on a win streak now, somehow. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have it. Well, we've managed to scrape into top 10. Somehow, we are back in top 10. Let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. If we actually get into this game, that is. Unfortunately, every time this happens as well, it's just time kind of wasted, which is very disappointing. Alright, let's see what our next opponent has for us. This is... I don't know if we played against this guy before, but there was a guy who had the same symbol at the start who was playing Overlord, so I'm going to assume it's that guy. Yeah, this was an Overlord guy, right? Draw for turn. We will quite happily just set 3 monsters, set a back row, and then just pass here, I think. Let's see what he's got. It's the Overlord guy, yeah. There's so many Overlord guys is the issue. He set pass. Okay. Do we just, like, go aggressive and just see what happens? I think we do. I think we'll just get a little bit aggressive. Just a little bit aggressive. Just a little bit aggressive. So this should be able to clear no matter what this is. Well, we only missed out on 400 damage. Now, he will draw the maximum and then we will die. Because that's why he only sets so many cards, because he already has the maximum in hand. So, he's going to slam the maximum, and then the game is over. But, there was nothing we could do to really play around this. So we'll just go next. That is that 3 games today our opponent has opened the maximum? Because he kept 2 cards in hand, and he used the ability to put the other one back. So he just literally hard opened the maximum. There's not really much we could do about that. Again, our deck is, unfortunately, not built to actually just counter the max. There's not really a good way to do it. I think we either take out, like, the piercing stuff, and then we just hard lose to, like, Noodles, or we just... So I feel like either we hard lose to the max, or we hard lose to Noodles, and there's no, like, in-between. Like, it's very difficult to find a good in-between space to be in. I guess you could just, like, take out the Star Knights, but then it makes the consistency feel off. It's awkward. It's very awkward. Right, we'll just set a bunch of boys and pass. Hammer Crush deal. Okay, so this is aggro guy. Sets most of the hand, passes. Well, we pass. We don't do anything till he does something. Because now we're just going to keep ramping up the number of cards on the hand, which suits us. Kingdom Hearts music is so good. It is. It really is. Alright, well here's Dragius. So this is going to force an answer out of us. Or is it? If he only has the one monster. Double Dragius? Okay. I think, again, until he goes aggressive, I just don't do anything, right? I can just keep going on the defensive. Or I could just pop the Dragius and then attack. That is another option. Alright, we will activate the skill, because we have just a few too many boss monsters in this hand. We'll get this out. Then... if I do that, I'm locked into that, so we're not going to do that. We'll set this. We'll then Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. That's a 2 Tribute set, so that's going to be... what's the defense on Ancient Arise? It's 16, right? Ancient Arise Dragon. What is the defense on this boy? 16, yeah. So I think we're just going to leave these in defense because I'm not expecting this attack to be able to clear. I think he's going to flip over a trap card. And then we'll just pass. Unfortunately, I don't think this game is going to end in time for it to matter, which is a bit of a shame. TSA, okay. More back row. More back row. More defense monsters. Gets in for 19. Okay. I guess we'll go Buyer. Buyer effect. We'll shuffle back this. Then we'll go ahead and Tribute 1, Tribute 2. summon this. And we'll just set, I guess. Pop that. We'll just go to battle and swing again, right? We can't get any big damage in. As long as he's just sat behind the fence monsters. Did you see that there is Tour Guide as partner for the Tag Duel event, and she has Ash, Ghost Ogre in her deck? That is very funny. Obviously, we knew they were coming in from the leaks, and they were going to be in an NPCs. Could you please stop Talisman accelerating me? Could you learn a new trick? What's that left in your graveyard now? You've got one monster in there. We haven't seen any spell traps yet. Just like 0 at all. My man's seen at least 6. I mean, the problem is he's got so much back row that like doing anything just feels like it's just death. I'll just pass, I guess. Well, the time limit's already over anyway, so this match doesn't mean anything. Which means, unfortunately, we did not finish in top 10. Feels bad. Well, there's a Doom Metal. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it because I don't have an 8. And I don't have any way to get access to an 8. So we just set pass. Draw for turn. Okay, that gets us somewhere. It's not a good somewhere, but it's a somewhere. So we'll activate Death Doom Requiem, and we'll get out a Invasion. Then we'll summon out Phaser. Activate Phaser. Bring back Heavy Metal. We'll then Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Do we even attack? Like, the chances of him having a widespread are so high. The chances of him having a way to out my monster should be a lot lower. So I'm just going to pass. I don't think I can go down to having one monster on the field. Hammer Crush is fine. We expected this. Gets rid of more back row hate. Now, he still just could have a third TSA. He could just have a Ancient Arise or a Trigger Drago. There's nothing we can do about that. There's yet another back row. That's his 8th back row he's seen. How many stop defense do we still have in deck? We still have 2. If we go too aggressive, we do just kind of die, which is what we really don't want. I think we just set, battle, and then we'll just swing in. So this will probably get a widespread out of him. Then we just pass. So we still just do just die to Dragius, but like we can't just never attack, right? We won't win that game. This needs to be a monster with attack points. And then we die. Yeah, it's a monster with attack points. That is lethal. That is the game. Rip. Nothing we can do about that. We just never saw our back row. And for some reason, he was on so much back row hate. We finished 11th, though. I'm not actually too upset with that. Considering how terrible our luck was throughout most of this, I am quite happy with 11th, to be honest. Let's see who won. It was... I have no context for who this is. This was one of the guys that was using Overlord. I don't think we played against this guy. This guy disconnected against us a few times, I think. I don't think we played against these guys. There are lots of like English named players that we just never ran into. Yeah, all in all, I'm not too disappointed with that, considering how like doo-doo that felt, a lot of it. Did you see, you think the selection box will arrive at the same time as the mini box in the structure, or like a week later, or I don't know, because there is no announcement yet. everyone seems to think it's all coming out tomorrow. That's all I can really say. But again, we haven't seen like the structure or anything get announced. We're in a weird situation where I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it. We'll have to wait and see. Right now I'm going under the assumption it's going to be out tomorrow, but I don't feel confident, like 100% guaranteeing that that's going to be the case. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now about it. But now we do also have a lot of events in the coming days. There are so many, right? So today we have... Oh, what happened to my Chrome? Go on, Chrome. How'd you detach yourself? There we go. Today, we have the Duel Links Dynasty. We don't know, but since we have some cards, it's probably tomorrow. Yeah, that's basically what we're going with at the moment. So, yeah, today we have Duel Links Dynasty. So, for me, this starts in 6.5 hours. That's when 8 PM is for me here. So, there'll be one last tournament for the format, if anyone wants to play in that. I guess I'll drop that. Since it's a Tonemel link, I can just drop that in the chat if anyone is interested in that. Duel Links Dynasty guys are really cool. They're a nice bunch, and their tournaments are all held on Tonemel, which means it's all done via this website. It's a good time if you want to play this format one last time, give it a last send-off. This is happening today in about 6.5 hours. And we got the Starry Cup, which is happening in 2 days' time. So this will be on, what, the Saturday? So we have that. There should also be the Quantum one. I don't know if the Quantum's is up yet, but I think Quantum's is on Friday. So we have Dynasty today. Quantum's should be Friday. Then Starry is Saturday. Then there's the Grand Prix on Sunday, and that's just tournaments. But then the Rush Duel Links guys are doing one on Tuesday, as well as having their point battle on the Friday. So, like, there's a lot going on. The Quantum will be on Friday. The question is the Quantum one going to overlap with the point battle? That's my question. But yeah, we have tons of different events to all play in, right? Tomorrow point battle, tomorrow Quantum, Starry Sunday, Grand Sunday, or Starry Saturday, Grand Sunday, Tournament Tuesday, point battle Friday again. Yeah, I assume before that second point battle we will have another Quantum as well. Whether or not it's the Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, who knows, but I imagine there'll be another one. So we're eating good at the moment. There are lots of events to play and lots of fun little tournaments, and they're all quite different, like, formatted as well. Obviously, Dynasty is on Tonemel, and thus is going to be, I think it's double elimination. Is it double? Yeah, it's double elimination. It says right there. So we have double elimination on Tonemel. Then we'll have single elimination in Quantums. Starry Rush, I believe, is always single elimination. Then Grands is Swiss with a top cut. Obviously, point battle is a point battle. And then another Swiss with a top cut in Rush Duel Links. So lots of different types of events. Point starts at 7 PM tomorrow, and Quantum is 10 PM tomorrow our time. Okay, so that's plenty of time then. Which means there are tons of time to just play all the new decks, right? Which is going to be really, really cool. Because that's what we want. We want a place to just test all the new stuff and see how it does, as well as we can see the results and just kind of see what happens with it. But the other thing we want to do is kind of take a look at what we're going to be doing for these decks on, like, day one, right? Like, how do we think playing these decks is going to work? Like, what do we think is going to be optimum builds? Because the card that I want to take another look at is going to be Mirror Innovator. Mirror Innovator is such a hyped card, and I want to see if we can actually make it, like, really strong, right? Like, what's going to be the best build for this card? Point Battle tomorrow also isn't doing top cut. Yeah. Also, okay, Manicus with an also in caps. You have my undivided attention. I believe I redeemed some gems. Ah, okay. You wanna change the sleeves and the mat, did you? Alright. You wanted... Sleeves was Asobi in other, right? Do we have that? Am I blind? Or are they somewhere else? I don't think I have them. you have them yet in others? Said Asobi, right? Oh, this one. This one, Amabi, that's it. That's what it's called. And now I do not remember what the map was at all. Yeah, I really was thinking combining it with the flag mechs and still that old skill, but it looks like best base to put Mirror Innovator in still. And maybe in other you have and Gitana for Matt. Okay. I assume Gitana's just going to be here. Prima Gitana, the shining superstar. All decks. It's very colourful, I'll give you that. Well, there we go, we have that set now. Which will probably be built using tournaments unless someone else changes it before then. But, what is going to be the best core to put this in, right? So, I think what makes sense is to filter this based on machines, right? Then we'll just take a look at what we can possibly put in and kind of go from there. So currently this is ordered by popularity. So I think it makes sense to include Barrel Dragon in here, right? I don't think we're going to really want to be using any of the others. Barrel Dragon is like a pretty decent boss monster. 860 gems right now. I'm going to change those. I mean, yeah, you could change them back if you got it. Crafter Drone's going to be obvious, right? We're going to definitely want Crafter Drone. After then, I think that's when it starts getting a little bit awkward. Like, I think we're probably going to want 3 of those. That just goes without saying. Going to help you out in the coming tournaments. Most people think you're on New Psychic. I mean, maybe I am on the New Psychic. I mean, do we want Barrel Dragon over Cybertech is the next question, I guess. I think we probably just include 3 of these. That kind of goes without saying. If we want to use the skill, what's it called? Ultimate Bond? Because Ultimate Bond is a bit of a weird one, because it's not inherently a great skill for this deck, just because we can't trigger it with the Mirror Innovator. So it is a little bit awkward. I don't know if we're going to want to include the boy as well. What's this guy even called? I can't remember what his name is. Let's go over to here just so we can see his name. He is Assault Cannon. Yeah, because his English name is Assault Armored, I think. Or his Japanese name was. I have 22.9k gems. I'll just change them back. Oh boy. The battle begins. Yeah, I don't know. I think Ultimate Bond is probably still the best to put them in, right? Like, realistically, what's... If it's not Ultimate Bond, it's going to be like Hammer Crush Deal or something, right? We also do want to have, like, big machines to be able to shuffle back, which probably means... Where's Gold Rush? Shouldn't Gold Rush be, like, up here somewhere? Where is my man at? Gold. There he is. I don't think we need more than 1 Gold Rush, though. And Gold Rush is basically, for the most part, interchangeable with Tough Striker. There's not really much difference between these cards. It's just Gold Drive occasionally will have an effect, or Gold Rush will. Eagle can summon Mirror, though, right? You could summon it. It will be 3,400. Shuffle Eagle back, 3,600 appears. You can. So I think Eagle is fine, right? But Eagle doesn't... Eagle basically just gives a plus 1,000 boost. Like, it doesn't get the monster out any easier. And we can only search it in this build, as is, with 2 cards. We'd have to see one of these 2 just to get out the Eagle. Ultimate Bond helps a bit with the deck stability, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I think Ultimate Bond is probably still the best place to have this, but I still don't think it's ideal. Like, we don't really want Ultimate Bond, but it's the best option we have. It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So that's 18 cards. If we cut out the machines, and then we'll go and take a look at spells and traps, shall we? So we're probably going to want this. We're almost certainly going to have this. Backrow Hate is going to be a question. Are we going to want Backrow Hate in here? I don't think we necessarily need TSA, but I don't dislike having at least 1 copy. The main reason this card's going to clash is because we have so many other cards, that being 3 Innovator and 3 Bicorn, that all want to shuffle cards back. So it's going to be kind of a mad rush to get cards back into the deck. Our defense values aren't super great, but they're good enough to use sword and shield, I think. We have 5 spell traps thus far. TSA is still, like, good, right? It's still not bad in this deck. It's just... I wouldn't want more than 1, I think is where I'm leaning. Like, it's still good to out maximums. It's still good to push for game. I'm debating whether or not I want to include a couple of back row hate as well. I don't hate it. I don't really like the idea of putting in some of these other traps. Just because, like, a combat trick, it doesn't do a ton for us, right? In that a lot of decks can just boost over it or weaken us below it, so I don't think it works out that well. 2 cards I think that probably would work quite well in here is Essel. I think Essel is going to be a good inclusion because the main way to get the biggest payoff off of Essel is to get back a card that will instantly be able to impact the board. The best one to do that is Dragius, because it can clear 2 monsters, or you can get a direct attack in. If we mill a machine and mill a Innovator, we can just get out Innovator, immediately get a piercing on it and attack in, and then it is immediately apply pressure, which is really, really good. You think Negate Attack will be limit 1, so you can't run it with Majesty and Slime? Well, Majesty is limit 3, so that wouldn't affect it. And Slime isn't limited at all, right? So even if you limit 1, it just stops you from playing it alongside Sword and Shield. They could limit 3 it, but then a lot of things start getting a bit weird, right? So, I meant limit 3. Okay. The problem with limit 3 is then it stops you from doing lots of things, right? And the decks that don't play limit 3s could play it anyway. So, for example, Noodles is a good example of a deck that doesn't have to play any limit 3 cards and then gets to just play any limit 3 at once. So right now, that's currently 2 Earthbound and the Majesty. So now they could just go Earthbound, Majesty, Negate Attack, right? I also think that people have been wanting more defensive options for a long time, and now that we're finally getting them, it would feel really bad to start limiting them all. 7 Shift is a weird one. I don't think I would like 7 Shift in this build. I think if I was going to play 7 Shift, I would put in a lot more high levels. I think there'll be like a 7 Shift build and a non-7 Shift build of this deck. Morning Tomato in chat, we theory crafting. Yes, JD Scrub, we are currently taking a look at the cards that are coming out and working out how we want to kind of build these decks for our kind of day 1 decks. You know, just what we're going to take into ladder on day 1 and experiment with, and then we'll make adjustments as we see them, right? Yeah, but it stops Magnum abusing it too. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong there. How do we just shoot Magnum in the face? How do we do that? How do we just get rid of that deck, just straight up? We need to change the skill. That's what we need to do. We need to hit the skill. That's what needs to happen. Well, we have 2 current slots for this deck. We don't want to take out... We don't want to have too many non-machines. But there are going to be some other cards that we could use as well. Our skill limits us from having monsters with 1400 more attack that are spellcasters or machines. Probably the best generic monster is probably just going to be... Can we change this to effect monsters just to make life easier? It's probably just going to be the boy. But I don't know if just running 2 copies of him is really worth it. The alternative is that we could stick a load of Aquas in the deck and then have like an Aqua engine. But I don't know if we need the Aqua engine on top of the Bicorn, is the only thing. Yeah, probably better to have a build without Gold Rush and 7 Shift because it will be nearly impossible to get both with just gems. Yeah, it's going to be... I really, really don't like selection boxes. I really, really don't like them. Hello, hello! Have you looked into dragons yet? No, this is the first deck we're looking into right now. just take a look at the machines for now. We're looking at the I have already got like a rough dragon build of like what I think the deck would look like, but I'm not expecting much out of it. We'll have to wait and see. Because I don't the skill that you used with Metageas is okay for Metageas because it gives you the extra dragons you need to be able to use the skill, right? It lets you put a card into your hand to discard. Right, we're not doing the Zanarkand music right now. Sorry, we're not doing the sad music. Here we go, Crash Bandicoot. Everyone wants a bit of Crash Bandicoot. But we're not doing that because it creates, like, weird little problems. Right? Because if we can only have one Dragius in there, and then you're basically just saying that Metageas is just worse Dragius a lot of the time. That's an annoying cost attached. So then it becomes, well, do you just not play that skill? I mean, maybe. Yeah, I am pissed about the selection. I have maxed copy every card in Duel Exif. I do not. I do not have Gokibor, and I do not have Amobi, whatever it's called, which annoys me so much. I'm getting so many Ra players right now. Lol, it's pretty boring. Yeah, Ra is an awkward one on the ladder. Like, so... the deck falls over so easily if you have the outs, but if you don't, it's just a pain in the ass. I should really have just been an Overrush rare in Alt Art Box. I mean, that would have been ideal, but then they wouldn't make as much money on it, which is why they have done what they've done, right? It's probably better to just run 3 Meta and 3 Dragius with some other skill. But then it's like, is it even worth playing Metageas without a free way to get the discard? Because Metageas, if you think about it, like, most of the time people aren't going to be playing Widespread now. And there aren't any other traps that really stop it outside of the... what's that trap called? The one which, like, if your opponent attached 2 level 7s, you can pop one of them. It's like, outside of that, it's trap protection isn't going to be doing much. It's battle prevention still could do stuff, but other than that, it's just worse Dragius, right? Entirely because of the difference in the cost. Or 2 Dragius, 1 Phoenix. The thing is, you could just do 1 Dragius, 2 Phoenix, and then by that logic, you just play the Metagear skill, right? It's weird. It's weird. It's weird how you come to it. I've been easily winning against it, but it's just a boring deck. Yeah, pretty much. Combustion Crisis. Yeah, that's what it's called. I forget. I don't want to disable these filters right now. Which is why I gotta do over it. Crisis. This thing, yeah. Combustion Crisis. This is now the scary card that Metagear insulates you from, I guess. Because it will be good against that, but that's gonna be about it. The benefit is just to have 6 double attackers. Yeah, but like, it's not really 6 double attackers, is it? Because you will effectively have to send one of your double attackers to the graveyard every time you want Metageas to double attack. So if you're playing just aggro, you've now got 3 double attackers, and then you've got 3 other double attackers that are double attacking sometimes, but a finite amount of times during the game, unless you shuffle the cards back from your graveyard into the deck with something like TSA. It's like, it's weird. It's a weird way to think about it. Because also just like the -1 really does hurt, especially in an aggro build where you really want to be just dumping your whole hand onto the board and getting as much damage in as you can each turn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we want to just include like a couple of these boys. Like, is there anything better than... maybe, actually, we go for Speedy. Speedy's not bad. Speedy Performer would make our piercing a little bit better. Or we ditch the Speedy and just put 2 more copies of our Machine Tank in. Speedy is better because it works better with the piercing. So we could effectively just have... but then Speedy gets weird because we'd have to leave it on the field as like a really small body. That's the other issue. We might just do this. Go up to 30 cards just like this. At first the box seemed insane. Now I'm not sure if anything besides Mirror Innovator will be any good. Lol. After thinking more about it, Dinos and Psychics seem like a big disappointment. Yeah, Dinos have really gotten the short end of the stick. We still don't have a Dino-specific skill. We haven't got any of the Dino traps, and the 2 Dino traps we will be getting are actually pretty good. So that's disappointing. I always run Light Stalk over Speedy. So the reason Speedy is better in some situations is because if you stick it on something that attacks twice, you've effectively doubled the boost you're getting, right? And if you're attacking with Piercing and not clearing your opponent's board, weakening your opponent's defense monsters doesn't do anything, because they're either in defense and face up, in which case it doesn't matter, or they're face down so you can't affect them. Whereas if we use Speedy with a Piercer, and that's the only monster we're planning to attack with that turn, that 400 gets in, right? That's the difference. So you could say Speedy is more versatile in how you can apply it, but Light Sorcerer of Sanctity is a better comeback card, because it's very specifically a counter-attacking card, right? You wait till your opponent commits something in attack mode, then you can weaken it, clear it, get in for big damage, or if it's something that's too big for you to clear, you weaken and attack over it. But when it comes to something like Mirror Innovator, who can boost his attack by a crap ton, or using the Ultimate Bond skill and getting the Aim Eagle, our attack should be so high that it shouldn't matter. We should never be in a situation where we can't clear our opponent's monsters, or at least that shouldn't come up too often. That's why I'm leaning more towards Speedy. And it's the same reason I'm not a big fan of the Assault Armored, or whatever it's now called, Assault Carrier? I can't remember what it's called. Where is it? Assault Cannon. Just because it's not bad, and it's a machine, which is the main reason we're leaning towards it. It has a decent attack stat, so if we do leave it in attack mode, it's not going to get just like completely blown apart. And the 300 attack reduction is a bit mid, to be honest. It's not great, but you know, milling, and it's a machine. That's kind of what we're leaning towards. Better to have a machine in this deck, I guess, compared to Speedy and Sanctity. Yeah, that's kind of what we're leaning towards. We have one non-machine in the deck currently, and it's Essel. Essel fills the graveyard with machines, which is really, really good, because we have so much milling in here. And obviously, we have two really good cards to bring back with Essel, in Barrel Dragon and the Mirror Innovator. I think it works out really well. I'm still not sure if we need this back row hate card. Maybe. I think there are enough back row in the game that are going to... Like, these three cards, or, like, maybe these two, and then, like, in some decks it'll be a Majesty, in some decks they'll run all four, are going to be quite prevalent, I think, going forward. So I do think back row hate could start to come back into the forefront of play. Especially if we don't play a ton of TSAs. Because usually this slot would just be, like, another TSA, right? What about the other Flag Beast? Do we know where it's coming from? We do not know just yet. We have no idea. I mean, there's... I don't think there's anything about that, right? If we grab this again. Because it doesn't work with the Blue Eyes, I don't believe. Because it's specifically... It's just if you don't have any other monsters. These two could just be in the Blue Eye Structure deck. In fact, all three of these could be Blue Eye Structure deck cards, you know. That's not impossible. What is a Rush Duel? Rush Duel is Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. It's very, very new, and a lot of people don't like it. But it's basically like the second iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the way to think of it. The Flag Beast will be in the Selection Box or the Blue Eyes deck. Well, we know it's not in the Selection Box. We've already had... Well, I guess there's a chance it could be in the Selection Box, but I'm pretty sure we know what's in it. Trader or Ranked Rewards. I mean, could be. Could be anywhere. But these are both light monsters, so they would be kind of at home in the Blue Eyes deck if they're not going for like a dragon-focused strategy. So that is, you know, potentially something. And putting Hammer Crush in a structure deck, I think would be a good place for it. But yeah, I think we're okay with this. I think this looks like a good introductory build. And again, you could just swap out the Gold Rush with Tough Striker for the most part. The main reason we want Gold Rush is because like very, very occasionally we will have it on the field and like discard one of our high levels because we're bricked and get back an Aven Wolf, and that's kind of it. How do you feel about the Pyro back row removal in Noodles? I think it's not necessary. That's how I feel right now. As for after tomorrow, when we do have access to negate attack, maybe that opinion changes. But I think, in general, Pyro has already started to go on a bit of a decline. Pyro was a really, really strong deck because it had like 2 auto-win matchups, and people just didn't want to put bad cards in their deck to beat it. But now we've started seeing the two easiest matchups for that deck, in my opinion, were Overlord and Royal Rebels. Now, both of those decks are starting to put quote-unquote bad cards or less efficient cards in their deck to just win that matchup, which means its playability's gone down, as well as Mirror Innovator will make its playability go down. Any kind of double attacking really hurts that deck as well, and we're about to see Metagears come into the game, and obviously Dragius is always going to be around. So I think Noodles are on the decline already, and the new cards aren't even out yet, so it's not looking good for Noodles, let's say that. Isn't there a bit too few 2.5k plus attackers for the skill? It's only 2. Well, that's what we were saying at the start, right? There isn't really a better skill to use, and this skill is still useful, but we want to be maxing out on Mirror Innovator. The alternative is we could drop a Mirror Innovator, increase the number of Gold Rush, then take out a lot of the rest of this and fit in a Majesty engine. But that would mean taking out a lot of cards to fit that in. And then suddenly the amount of machines in the deck seems quite low, which now makes me think we're not going to be able to consistently resolve Bicorn and Mirror Innovator's effects. So I think in total, I think I do prefer this ratio. But it would give us an extra out to Overlord, so it depends how prevalent that is. It's an awkward one. It's an awkward one. Like we're saying, Ultimate Bond is not the ideal skill, but we want a brand new skill. Basically, we're not getting a brand new skill, so we just have to do what we've got. And this is kind of how we're looking at the moment. I think I'm quite happy with this. Like, again, we'd have to test it and see how it plays, and then make adjustments as we see. But I think for a day 1 deck, this looks quite good. So now, let's build another one. What are the other skills we're getting? They're, like, listed down here, right? We can just see all the skills. That'll make my life easier. So do we look at the dragons now? Suppose we look at the dragons. Take a look at the dragons. So the first thing we want is Metagears. Bam, bam, bam. Then we're going to want Dragius. We'll grab him in. Then we want Phoenix Dragon. That goes without saying. Now where are we at? Because from here it gets a bit funky. So our skill is called Full Metal. Because we're an alchemist. Now if we take a look at the skill quick, it is all monsters with 1300 or more attack in your deck are dragon monsters, so 1300 or more. So I think a good starting point is going to be Essel, because for the same reason we said, we want monsters that impact the board immediately. Look, lots of monsters that drastically impact the board immediately. I also really like Cursor Dragon. And the reason I really like Cursor Dragon is because it works with the skill. So the skill just says, choose a face-up level 5 or 7 Dark Attribute monster in your field, and its original attack becomes 2600. Which means Cursor Dragon just gets to get plus 600. It's like a Servant of Dawn type effect. Sports Dragons are a weird one, because Sports Dragons clash with Cursor Dragon. So I don't know that we actually need them. On top of the fact we can just include the other engines anyway. Like we can put in just Seahorse. Right? Like that's fine. We can put in Kana. Race Princess Kana. We can include even Babysit Goat. And we can include Majesty to go with the Goat. Right? Because it only stops us from running high levels. Yeah, it's taken a really long time to find Majesty. Maj. Good on here. Majesty. There we go. So we can have limit reached. Oh, because it's limit 3. Yes. We'd have to take one of these out if you want to include Majesty. Right, we'll take this out for now, but that is still an option. I keep forgetting that it's limit 3, not limit 1. There's only one of it. So, where do we want to go from here is the next question. So we have a lot of options, right? We're basically only limited in not being able to use 1300 or more attacks. Which means we can basically include Find or whatever. I guess we'll look at the spell traps, right? So we're going to be including probably the same spell traps that we were going to be anyway. Like that one's still a good one. This is still good. Let's filter by spell traps again. Make my life easier. Traps und spells. So this probably makes sense to include 2 or 3 copies. Then we almost certainly use negate attack. And the shield and sword. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spell traps feels right. And then we're just left to 6 cards. So we have a couple of different options we could use for our 6 cards. One of which is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, the Speedy Performer, right? Because we're doing lots of double attacking in this deck, and Speedy Performer is quite nice with double attacks. And another card we talked about earlier was Light Sorcerer of Sanctity. It's another card we could just include. This attack is under the threshold. So this lets us beat over pretty much anything. We could also just replace these Speedy Performers with the other regular Light Sorcerers. Like, that is another option. Probably some beaters. Dragorite could be nice. Dragorite is the only beater we can include, really. Because the other ones we're not allowed to include. Yeah, we can't even use this Light Sorcerer, can we? Because it's more than 1300 attack. The Dragorite, and then the only other card we could possibly use would be Winged Dragon Guarding the Fortress. If we were going to put that in, we'd probably take this out, especially since we only have the 3 bodies. Like, I don't hate this build. I think you're right. I think having more beaters does make sense. Is there anything else I would change? I think this looks, like, fine for, like, the first draft. We've got, like, the decent traps to protect us. We have the spell that we use in aggro piles anyway because we need a way to out maximums. We do have just a lot of aggressive power here. We do have the Curse of Dragon, which is also just really good to, like, apply pressure as a 2600 tribute. I think this looks fine. Curse with Speedy gives you a 3k beater. Yes. Which doesn't come up too often, but it will come up occasionally, right? I think this looks fine. I think that's our dragon build. Which means we'll move on to the next deck, which is going to be... Oh, are we doing anything with Spectral Squall? That's the next question. Are we... How do we make Spectral Squall good? So all the monsters with 1400 more attack in your deck are warrior and or winged beasts. That's not too bad of a requirement. Or a... I guess this is the... I don't even know what we call this. Just nah. Just nah. From turn 2 onward, during the turn, you have normal summoned a level 6 or higher monster. Send up to 2 dark attribute warrior monsters with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then you can make 1 face-up warrior water attribute winged beast monster on your field, gain 1000 attack. It's so awkward. Is it time for Pokerogue? It's so early, Hunter. We're still building decks. We're looking at stuff. We're having fun. Why aren't you having fun? Okay, let's take a look at the Squall deck and see the best we can make it. We're not expecting it to be good, but we'll see what it looks like, what a build would look like. So we have to basically have 3 of this, right? There's no way we can't. I mean, do we even put Yami Ruler in? I think we kind of have to, but it limits us into what we can actually use it with. I wonder, is there any freebies I can look forward to for Rush when this campaign drops? You're going to get a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you're going to get 1 copy of the structure deck. So there's that. Yeah, you get the free Blue Eye structure. I'm going to change your sleeve soon. Always ready. And then Manicist is ready to change it right back. Alright, let's change this. And we'll go straight away back to Wing Beasts and Warriors. Both the W's. Except the Worms, I suppose. That's the other one we don't have. We've got our Warriors. We're going to go and grab our Winged Beasts. So we can include this, if we want. We can... Is this going to be worth using? Maybe. We'll put it in the deck for now. We'll take it out later, probably. We can have Piercing. Well, we could have that anyway. We can't even include this, which is very funny. We maybe include some of these, although it's already looking quite bricky. We can include this. We can include this. Oh, nice. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the structure had a free copy deal. Yeah. Dream You Are as well. Dream You Are is so weird as well, because I don't really have anything to use it on. So it's like, what do I do with that? Is Yuri from Arc V Fusion Dimension in the game? No, not yet. Is my most anticipated character. He'll come out eventually. Hey, thank you for the follow, Crimson Flash. Welcome, welcome. Thing is, I've not been spending any gems on Rush since it came out, but I do want to eventually build Psychics. I think the best thing I could tell you is make a new account. Make a new account and have it exclusively for Rush. It's a little bit of extra work, and obviously it's a pain in the ass to swap between accounts on your phone if you play on phone, but that is always going to be the best way to do it, because then you're not really like competing with yourself. What else do we want to even do with this pile of cards? Like, I don't even call this a deck. So, 1400 is the only limitation. From turn 2 onward, we summoned a level 6 or higher monster. We can send... I think it's 6 or higher. When are we ever summoning like a 6 off of this? And then using the effect to dump? Water Active Wing Beast monster. I guess we could do it with... thingy, right? What's it called? What is it called? Blue Falcon Tengu thing. Oh, that's potential. I think this deck's looking very, very awkward with this card in though. Because, like, we need to have a lot of... When we use this... When we use the bird, let's get the bird's exact wording up, because the bird is so bad that I've never even used this card before. I think I've used it maybe one time ever. Place 2 level 7 or higher warrior monsters from different names from your graveyard at the bottom of your deck. So that means, theoretically, we only need 2 of them in the entire deck, right? If we don't rely on them to try and win the game, we only need 2. Because we just keep putting them back in again and again and again. So, with that logic, we find the right one again. We could just drop some of this down. We might not even need Yami Ruler. Because I think, arguably, Kimi Ruler is going to be better in a lot more situations. But then again, if we're not being able to change monsters to defense mode, maybe it doesn't matter. So we could just drop this all the way down, and then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. You need a 3rd to summon, though. Do we? Where? Why do we need a 3rd to summon? At what point do we need the 3rd to summon? All we need to do is summon out the birds. We summon the birds, then we dump these guys, and then we put them back into our deck with Ice Arc, and then we dump them again. They're just engine. They're garnets in the deck. That's how I'm looking at them. Read Burb? Okay, let's read Burb. Let's read Burb. You're exactly right. We need the Burb. We need a 3rd to summon. I stopped reading at the requirement. I didn't even clock this thing had an effect. Well, the next question is going to be... We look up Yami Ruler's wording real quick. So I have a sneaking suspicion. Normal summoned, which means Yami Ruler is probably not the card we'd want in this deck anyway. I'm thinking Kimi Ruler's better in here, you know. Because if we're planning to just special summon most of the time anyway, there's no point in having... Mind you, what's Kimi Ruler's wording? Yeah, there's no normal summons or any claws on it at all. So the only benefit Yami Ruler's going to have is that it has 500 more defense. Already, though, we're on 9 tribute monsters. So we might cut down, like, Tengu down to, like, 2 or something. The 1 Yami, because it will come up, and 2 Kime, then 1 Avian spell. There is basically, the big payoff for the deck is you get a 3k beta for a turn, and you can summon a 2500. The biggest issue I think this deck has is every time you want to pull off that combo, you have to get 2... Because in order to use the bird, right, we have to put 2 of them back in and then have a third. So we have to have 3 in the graveyard. And the skill itself only puts 2 in the graveyard. So, like, the skill doesn't even set it up. Read Kimmy-Ruler again. Alright, let's read Kimmy-Ruler again. If your opponent has no attack position monsters on the field during the turn, you normal summon this card! Come on, Kimmy-Ruler. Why are we doing this? Why are you being like this, Kimmy-Ruler? They have to be different names. You can't use 3 Kimmy-Ruler. They have to be different names. Different names. Oh, for God's sake. Why is this skill so... Why is it so bad? The other thing is, that makes me not even want to use 3 Kimmy-Ruler because... Or 2 different. I kind of want to use 3 different, just in case. Because it'll come up that you'll, like, already have access to this one, and then you want to dump the other 2, but you can't because they're the same name. So awkward. Legit, we might do that. We might run 1 of each. Just to, like, sort out bricking plays. You can mill Piercing Samurai. I mean, you can, but you'd have to get very lucky to get them where you need them. As well as the fact, Ice Arc will specifically put them to the bottom of the deck, which means you're not going to be milling them off of that after that. You actually need 4, I think, so you can use the skill twice to make it live. Ah, so you're saying, rather than just get lucky, draw into it. But then it gets so bricky. Like, the deck already looks bricky as all hell. You should just go to the next deck, I guess. That Griffin, right? We're doing this. We're gonna take a look at this and see what it looks like. You can send from hand, so you don't need more than 2 names. Send from hand, so you don't need more than 2 names. It does say up to as well, so we don't actually need 4, because it specifically says up to. We don't have to worry about it. Konami giving the decks that need the most support the most restrictions. Yeah, so weird. I don't know what Konami's doing then. So as is, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's looking quite nice. We do have Bird. Bird might be sticking around. We have all of these lovely beaters who are just in here because they can be. What is it even... Blue Falcon Tengu, is there even a reason to have it in the deck, right? So we can use it to just dump stuff, and then it will gain 1000 attack. Okay, so that is actually kind of okay then. I don't know if we commit to going for triple. Oh, Number wants to choose the game mat. Do you have an idea of what game mat you want, Number? Yeah, there's nothing else in there worth looking at. Also, with Avian Spell, you can stack Ice Arc for next turn, so you can loop skill and effect. I mean, you can only do it once, though, because we've got 2 limit 3s. So... hey, what's the good stuff about Rush and why should I invest time and gems into it? What makes it different? Rush is a much simpler format. It is not about building a turn 1 board and then trying to break your opponent's board or vice versa. It is about, it's old-fashioned Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It is summoning monsters, it's attacking, it's ideally metas that have lots of interaction, lots of back and forth, lots and lots of turns, usually. I mean, there are like still just FTKs and, well, not FTKs, there are still OTKs and stuff, so, you know, take that with a pinch of salt. But it's meant to be more akin to older Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But with a new coat of paint, some modernized mechanics, like being able to summon as much as you want in a turn, drawing up to 5 cards, that sort of thing. That's what once Speed Duel was supposed to be, exactly. Speed Duel, though, is more anime-centric, right? The whole point of Speed Duel, and I guess in a sense Duel Links in general, is to make strategies that were in the anime, or strategies that weren't particularly good in TCG, become better, or to reinvent the wheel by using them in a way, using a skill that changes how they're played, right? Rush is just faster regular Yu-Gi-Oh! I say faster, like that means anything. It's faster than old Yu-Gi-Oh! Was. It's debatably a lot slower than current Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a hard sell if you don't already know it, I guess is the point. Mizar and number 107, the classic. Okay. We'll go ahead and chuck that on quick. We'll do that now. Deck setting. And we went with Game Mat. So, we will go to Event, I believe it was. Sure it was in the middle, right? Or am I just an idiot? Don't answer that question. There he is. Save it. Lock it in. Imagine if GOAT format allowed you to summon a bunch of vanilla beaters, basically. I mean, kind of. GOAT format has other weird problems, though. Like, everyone just plays the exact same deck. There isn't a lot of deck diversity. But yeah, the game is more akin to that. I'd say it's almost closer to Edison, but that's more like the current game, not Duel Links game. And would you look at that? It's an ad break. Do 3 of them. We could do that. Probably doing that again. Probably going to want these and this. Almost certainly going to want negate attack. I'm not a friend of that rush stuff. It's there, okay, but man, another speed world would be so much better. I don't want to invest gems and be forced to play it for gems. The thing is, like, there isn't really any other speed worlds to do outside of, like, filler stuff that I don't think they're going to do. So, like, I think you kind of got all the worlds you're getting outside of, like, maybe some, like, really memey ones, like the Waking the Dragons arc, which is just, like, because if you think about it, those aren't even worlds, right? Because each of the worlds is tied to a series, except for the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, which is the only, like, kind of outlier. Okay, so this is looking okay right now. I think we include... So we can't include Kanan. We can include Kana if we want it. That gives us, like, just a little bit of an engine. We'd then have to take a few cards out. It's the only issue. So we take out, like, these. Maybe one of these, one of these. Take out one of these, probably, and put in an avian. So we can spell it. Yeah, maybe this is the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, we're back on the 7 spell traps. We've got the 3 boys. We've got some tribute fodder. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So half the deck, right? Split the math again. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 15. 15's a little bit low for normal summons. Don't know if I like that. Harpies is crazy good for a cheap deck. Yes, Harpies is very, very strong. I think Harpies is arguably the best deck in the game right now. Obviously, you know, building complete Harpies is not the same as free-to-play Harpies, but it's still pretty good. Zombie Engine. What would be the benefit of including the Zombie Engine? So we could take out, like, all of the beaters, and then just fit in more cards. But outside of that, these guys just have better stats. I'm a super long time player. I get gems very rare. I cannot afford real money. The few gems I still get, I will not spend on Rush. It sucks. I mean, that's your opinion. I think there's a lot of people that... I say that. I don't know. I think Speed is in an okay place right now, but Speed has, I think, just had like 2 very bad metas. Like, not like back-to-back or anything, but there were like 2 Speed metas that have been out in like the last 6 months that have been like really bad that people are complaining about. And, you know, during those times, Rush is always there, offering a gentle hand. I mean, to be fair, we've also had like 2 really bad Rush metas, so take that with a grain of salt. Swap Zombie for Aqua. Yes, but why, Manicist? Why would you want it? I don't think this deck's going to be good by any stretch, right? I think it could be okay, to be honest. Like, the main benefit I see is that this skill isn't messing with our advantage very much. More smaller monsters for ratios, and you have 3 that recycle rather than 2. Yeah, but like, what would you take out then? So at that point, we've got to get rid of beaters, and then the deck becomes a lot less aggressive. Like, I kind of like the Pigeon, because we can get back our boss monster, which I do think is pretty cool. I got 3rd Dragius, now I can build zombies. Do you have some deck list by any chance? I mean, all you want to do is just go over to Duel Links Meta, just go top decks Rush, and then just have a look in here. This is always going to be the best place to look. So if we, for example, if we set this to like 4 weeks, and then if we just search like Dread Ruler, you can see that it's used in this deck, piloted by Marco, and then is your zombie list. You got the 3 Dark Doom Dread Rulers, you got the Crawling Torsos, you got more zombie boys in here to all be used alongside Dark Doom Dread Ruler, and there's everyone's favourite Dragius. Pigeon isn't needed because you have a lot of high level and Avian to recycle. And the thing is, we have 1 copy of Avian. Like, that's not like going to be infinite recycling. I still like the idea of having this card, to be honest. Especially since we could mill it and then just get it back. And I think the other way to look at this is that if we get any of our birds online, these cards aren't going to be seen, right? The idea is these are garnets. We just send them to the graveyard. So, if we brick, right, it's not going to be pretty. If we're not bricking, these 3 cards are never going to be in our hand. So those don't count. So we're only actually playing 5 tribute monsters. Get rid of Semi-Ruler and go second Kime. So the problem with that is that will create some situations where I won't be able to do the combo. Because if I have 2 Kime and a Yami, and then we see the Yami and we send it to the graveyard, right? Or we have the Yami in hand, for example. Then I could... What's a good way to phrase this? If I have an easy way to get Yami into graveyard because I've drawn into it, and then I have 2 Kimes left in deck, I then can't get both the Kimes into graveyard on the same turn, because the skill doesn't let me. By having 3 different names, it means those very rare situations will never come up. As well as the fact, I don't know if we need a second Avian. I take out Seme, go 2 Kime and second Avian, except you will be... Except you will because you only need 2 different names and the skill sends from hand too. Yeah, but again, if you're listening, Manicus, we just said if we can get one of them into the graveyard ahead of time, the skill cannot send 2 cards of the same name, which means it won't work. I'm not saying that situation is going to come up too often. I'm saying it will come up. Like, you'll be in a situation where you'd have 1 in the graveyard, you'd be able to send 1 of the Kimes, the other Kime rots in your deck. Hope you don't draw into it. And then you have to wait until a following turn when you do another bird summon to get it into graveyard. That's the logic. By having 3 different names, you guarantee that can never happen. And on top of that, the payoff is that you get to run a second Avian spell strategy, which I don't even think you need. Which is why I say 2 Avians, so you can stack it, pop it, and have it live again. But I mean, we have Trick Pigeon, so we can just have access to it whenever we want anyway. But we don't need the second Avian. Like, logically, it doesn't make any difference. Right? The way that you're saying it is more high roll. The way I'm doing it is more consistent. Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hello, Duel Links Alpha. Welcome on in. Well, I think people are really overblowing how good Avian spell strategy is. Like, outside of having it to pop back row, which is going to be the primary use, stacking monsters to the top of your deck is not bad, but I think people really think it's a lot stronger than it is. When you actually play with this card, you'll realize stacking monsters to the top of your deck is fine. It is not broken, and it is not crazy, crazy strong. No, I mean, stack the warrior with 8. Alright, Manicist, right. What you've just said there is really clever. That makes a lot of sense. That is really good. That does only work, though, if we have access to an Avian when this brick occurs. How often? It doesn't really make much difference, right? Basically, it's saying that we can create... We put a situation in our deck where we can brick. And then if we have 1 or 2 cards, we can fix that. Or we just leave it like this, and then that brick can never happen in the first place. Just don't brick, easy. I mean, that would be the best way. Are we going to get some free gems tomorrow because of the new bundle? I think we get like 500 gems or something tomorrow. Because it's a new mini box as well. So get like box celebration gems. So 500 for rush and 500 for speed, I think, as well. I mean, that would be great if we get 1,000 gems. I love 1,000 gems. I think top deck... Yeah, just top deck everything you want every time. AKA be Yami, I guess. It's an awkward deck building philosophy, right? Because... like, we don't really want this limit 3 in. At the same time, I don't even know if we'd bother playing the extra copy of Avian if we could. Like, yeah, it can sort it out occasionally, but I don't think it matters too much. I'm trying to think, though, how often are we going to get into a situation where we need 3 different names? It should come up very, very rarely, but it will come up. In my mind, you'll have to unbrick one way or another. Your way seems safer, but mine means you don't run a dead boss, and you have 2 spell trap removal, which would be relevant at the moment. The thing is, I look at all of 3 of these as dead, for the most part. Like, in an ideal world, we're never summoning any of them, right? We're going to, like, bring them back as a vanilla, like, just 2,500 dude, and that's going to kind of be it. I think I would be banned from tournaments if I was that lucky. Maybe not immediately, but they'd make sure to add a rule of no Yami luck players or something. Alright. We know we need, no matter what, we need to have our Talismanic Seal Arrays, right? That makes sense to me. This deck doesn't easily out maximums, right? Let's just take a step back, right? How do we out maximums with this deck? If we use our skill, we can boost Ice Sark up to 3,000. 3,000 does not beat a maximum, which means the only way this deck currently beats a maximum is using Talismanic Seal Array. So by that logic, I don't think we can take any Talismanic Seal Arrays out. By the same merit, I don't think we can take any of these spell traps out, except maybe we take out Shield and Sword just for a Tribute to the Doomed, just as another out to maximum, right? So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spell traps are already locked in. If we were take out shield. Why do you want shield removed is my next question. It's meh at the moment. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the logic is shield and sword is bad right now when the best decks in the format are Harpies that have a lot of zero defense, Royal Rebels that have a lot of zero defense, Noodle Ninjas which have a lot of zero defense, Aggro which has a lot of low defense. I'm trying to think what else is even in the meta right now. Cyburst has a lot of low defense, and that does come up quite a lot. Like literally 0 or 100. God, what else is in the meta right now? Overlord has a lot of low defense, including zero defense. I think Shield and Sword's pretty good right now. I could be wrong. I think there's like 2 decks that don't care about Shield and Sword, and every other deck it completely shits on them. Hey BT, welcome on in. The skill grows the graveyard and helps with TSA. Should we go with SL2? That is a good shout. The only problem with Essel is Essel doesn't... Essel, on turn 2, doesn't do a ton for us, right? We could get back an Ice Arc and then use the skill. We can't even use the skill, though, because using this has to be turn 2 onward. Oh, no, it's turn 2 onward, so we could use it with it. So we'd use that just to dump them into graveyard on turn 2. Wait, I mean, like, when the rush structure releases, we get 500 gems as well, and then the speed structure releases a week later, we'll get 500 gems. I mean, there was that. Dragius does well, not every dragon. Royal Rebels put Doom on board. Shield and Sword is good for multiple monsters, but most people are putting one big guy on boards and walking up to play around cards. Walling up. Tribute to the Doom seems like it'll be better at the moment. I play SOD, so you know I am biased towards Shield and Sword. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're playing, like, the main deck that doesn't care about Shield and Sword. I think, as well, with Slime and Negate Attack, I think a lot of people will... It's a weird one. I think, on one hand, people will be unable to close out games a lot more often because these trap cards exist. On the other hand, people should change their play based on the fact these trap cards exist and therefore go less aggressive. Because it's like, well, what's the point in going with 3 attack position monsters if my opponent could just have one of these trap cards that stops me, right? So I think if you're against a good player, I think Shield and Sword is going to feel a lot worse. And I think against a bad player, Shield and Sword is going to just win you the game a lot of the time. So I think good players now will start playing a little bit more passively to try and be like, well, I need to get rid of these trap cards before I can actually go for the big pushes. Bad players won't care. They'll just swing face. And then you'll be able to stop their attacks with these, hit them with a Shield and Sword and clap them back and try and kill them, assuming they don't have their own trap cards to protect them. It's a weird one. It's a weird, like, environment we're kind of transitioning into right now. But then the question still becomes, right? Let's humor. Let's take that out. Let's put in Tribute to the Doomed. All right, so we have this in here. Do we take out Sword and Shield is the next question. Because the primary concern I see right now is we have a lot of Tribute monsters in this deck. And we have 7 spell traps in this deck already, which does make me feel like we've kind of reached the upper limit of the spell traps we can really afford to have in. So much so, I would like to take spell traps out of this, right? So that we have more normal summons, because I don't really think we can cut down the Tribute monsters too much more. I just assume everyone is a good player, because then if I have a solid strat for a good player, it will be fine for a lesser one. I think the difference there is that you will sometimes, though, miss out on wins because you didn't have the punish, right? Take out the Shield and Sword trap. See, that's what I'm thinking. If we're not using Shield and Sword, I don't think we need this. But then I still don't really want another... Like, I want another monster in here, right? Like, I want, like... I'll just throw, like, Masaki in for now. Because then this gives us 16 normal summons, and 16 normal summons feels good. That's kind of where I'm at. Because if we were to take out one of these bosses and replace it with another Kime, and then increase the amount of avian spell strategy, that still puts us back to 15 normals. And I think 15 normals is too small. I think it's too low. I think we'll just have brick games. The alternative is that we take out, like, one of these, like, birds. But I do really like it. I like the Tengu. Hear me out, Beast Summoner. Beast Summoner's not bad. Beast Summoner is not bad. So Beast Summoner, for anyone who doesn't know, if your opponent has level 6 or is it your opponent has 3 monsters? I get confused between it and Trike Fox. So this is, if your opponent has a face-up level 6 or higher monster on their field, you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your hand face up to the field. Now this is a level 7 Winged Beast, which means you can summon it off of the Beast Summoner. There is something there. The question is how, like... Right, if we're playing a lower spell trap count, I don't think we need the pigeons anymore. When we were on 7, it was more likely to come off. Now that we're down to 6, it's less likely. So I think we can bump these up. Last game before Cog, I am clearly winning, and then out of nowhere, hard draw Harpy Max, triple attack. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately, Corono. That is just going to happen. That's just the format. Tomorrow, you'll have negate attack. That'll help a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know if you saw the question above, so I'll say it again. Sorry, I missed the response. Do you think 7 Shift will see play? I think 7 Shift will see experimentation. I think if someone comes up with the right ratios and it feels good and consistent, it will catch on. If that doesn't end up happening, I could see people just kind of dropping it. I think the issue is, in order to make 7 Shift seem worth it, you have to play an above average amount of level 7 monsters. Which means sometimes you will just draw all of those monsters and not be able to play the game. So, in a way to try and make things like accelerate the game, it can feel like it does the opposite. So 7 Shift is a spell card. Now, what you could do is use this card more like a Righteous Dragon, which is you just use it to get a 3rd boss monster on the field, at which point it still just becomes very win more, right? And win more is not inherently bad, but you really want cards that are good at all stages of the game rather than trying to play one that's going to primarily be used as a win more card, right? Yes, discard to summon level 7. Siesta Hold will probably see more play than 7 Shift. It depends. I think that Siesta Torero was fantastic in the physical game. But in the physical game, we didn't have skills, and skills do a lot of the heavy lifting. Siesta Torero is effectively a skill when you squint at it, right? It's basically Dark Arts of Celerity, right? As well as we already have a lot of other cards that shuffle. Like when Siesta Torero came out, we didn't have Talismanic Seal Array at the same time. I don't think at the very, very start. And people are very, very in on Talismanic Seal Array, like doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now. So that's why already when we took a look at our machine deck, we were already a little bit like, oh, well, do we want more than one TSA? We've already got a lot of cards in here that shuffle cards back into our deck between the Bicorn and the Mirror Innovator. So I think it's going to get a little bit awkward with Siesta Torero, where in the physical game, I think it was an easy, like, 2 or 3 of include every deck. Don't even have to think about it. Slam that guy in. Easy, meta, like, staple, right? Actually ridiculous card. In Duel Links, I still think it's going to be good. I still think it's going to see play. I don't think it's going to be quite the same as it was in the physical game. I think it's going to be a little bit worse in Duel Links than it was in the physical game, personally. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see. When are you in Tomato collabing for Rush FTKs? Nurse Burn and Rush soon. Soon. I mean, fortunately, we've never had any effects like that, so it's never really going to come up, I don't think. They can't stop you in both formats. I mean, they could try. Has there ever been an FTK in Rush? Ooh, FTK? I don't think so. We've had some very long loops that have done some really crazy stuff. I think it's always turn 2, at the very least, that people die. We've had our fair share of OTKs, right? Like Cyber Dragon came out, right? Everyone knows what Cyber Dragon can do if, you know, you just draw Power Bond and massive multi-attacks, piercing, etc, etc. But, Guildford OTK was a thing. I don't think we've ever had FTK, right? Somebody has done an FTK, it's just very exact to the point, it's unrealistic. There we go. See, BT would know. I don't think there are cards that would make that possible in Rush. Yeah, typically, it's a lot harder to do that sort of thing. But, like, again, OTKs are very, very prevalent. Which is why I'm a little bit worried about us having only 6,000 life points. Because there are a lot of cards, I think, that would just completely run rampant because of only having 6 cards. Unfortunately, I do have something I actually have to do today. So, we are going to have to cut things here. Unfortunately, we have been having a great time. We're having a great chat. We're building some great decks. We've had a lot of good insight. But, unfortunately, life does call. And I am going to have to end things here. But, thank you all so much for hanging out. We did just finish outside of top 10 in our point battle, which was a bit of a shame. But that is what it is. We will be back again on Sunday to play with some of the new stuff. And again, if anyone is... If we just jump back over here quick. If anyone is interested, there is a Rush tournament on today. Duel Links Dynasty. We'll throw the tournament link in the chat again in case anyone is interested. If anyone does want to play it, it's there. And we've got so many Rush tournaments coming up over the next few days. So make sure you play in some of them. But thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all next time.